Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Tales from the 606, right?
Yes, sir.
Changed the name. A lot of people reached out and asked about it. I did want to talk about why we changed the name, previously known as The Last Laugh. A couple of different reasons. When we wanted to start recording a podcast, we knew we were going to put it on other forms of social media. We needed a name. We know names are really hard to come up with, any kind of form. Any name. Naming kids, naming your PSN account, Xbox Live, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You're basically branding yourself for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you really are.
Terrible at.
Yeah. Hard, and we all struggled with it, but The Last Laugh, I got off a name generator, and it just kind of looked most interesting out of everything else that I saw. And we knew going into it that it was going to be kind of like a placeholder. So started brainstorming. This name kind of stuck better. We had an artist that worked for us, so I think this is going to be our permanent name going forward.
For sure.
What's the artist name? Shout out, because she did really good.
Yeah, she did a great job. That was, I think it was Morgan Hoskins. Right? Is that it?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, pull it up and check, but I think that was her name. She sent me her portfolio, and it looked the best out of everybody else that sent me over portfolios. No offense to anybody else, I did have some amazing artwork. Hopkins, my bad. Morgan Hopkins. We really appreciate the art. It was killer. But I got a lot of different submissions, with people reaching out, but I liked her JoJo artwork a lot.
Mhm.
Love JoJo's.
Same.
And that kind of captivated me a little bit.
Like the anime style.
Definitely. But yeah, that's the reason we had to change the name, and also the fact The Last Laugh is being used by so many other different people. If you go to Spotify and type in The Last Laugh, you'll see multiple different shows.
Several.
Yeah. There's actually, I think, like a British laugh show or something that uses
That's
it.
kind of relatively popular.
Yeah, so we want to get away from that.
Yeah,
we
of
want
course.
something unique.
Of
And,
course.
I think the Tales from the 606 really sticks out because Tales of the Crypt, pretty cool. Kind of
Very
stuck.
cool.
That's the reason we changed our name. Kind of it in a nutshell. Now, we got to talk about what happened last night, which was very unfortunate. We have to bring it up. We filmed. It was almost 3 hours.
And let's be real here. It was amazing.
It was great. We got a new camera angle we're working with. We had that last night, and the vibes were all just there. Everybody was in a great mood.
It was amazing.
Yeah, probably the best
one.
episode. That's
Definitely.
actually what Josh was saying at the end of that episode, was that it was the best episode we recorded yet.
Fortunately, you couldn't hear him say that.
You couldn't hear him say it, so we decided to start fresh this time. We're going to use some other stuff that we did from that episode and incorporate it into the into some of the reels and clips that we do. But we just thought it would be better to start fresh.
I'll take the heat. I moved
It
my
was
mic.
not your fault.
Well, it was my fault.
No.
I
it was
hit my
not, man.
mic. Well, I didn't hit
It
it.
could
I
happen.
adjusted it. I like having something to fidget with. So if you see
Yeah.
me going like crazy over here, I'm not geeking. I promise. I'm just.
You definitely shouldn't blame it on yourself. But
When
it
I
could happen to
moved it,
anybody.
it cut the audio out. And of course, we had no idea because we're who thinks to check their equipment while it's running.
Yeah.
Exactly. And also, I will say that it's something that we're all three guilty of too.
Yeah.
I move
Almost
mine over a
halfway.
lot. Austin moves his. We all move our mics around. It's just something that you do when you're talking into a microphone, I feel like.
I
think
really
I
thought
see
it was going to
everybody
be
do it.
mine that went out because I realized about halfway through that my cord was just dangling.
But yours stayed pretty much
Yeah.
intact for the whole thing. But we're going to try to salvage it and use some clips too.
Oh, there's several
Yeah, we
clips
definitely
from
have about 30 minutes of use.
it was funny.
I got these guys. They never tried the Monster Nitro. I don't have one. I just got a regular Monster tonight. But they never had a Monster Nitro before. So
I give it, no joke, a 9.5. 9.5.
I agree.
it's great. It's one of my favorite energy drinks. We talked about it a little bit. That was something that we're not going to do. And then, in spirit of Halloween and where we're at right now, we've not even really talked about that on our Facebook page. I think we're at like 317 right now, 317 followers.
I've not looked in the last little bit.
It might have
today.
changed. But
It was crazy.
last time I
Yeah.
looked, it was at 317. We were
I'm
shooting
wrong.
for. Well, actually, hold on. What were we shooting for?
We were shooting for like 250 and hit it like
Yeah.
in
Well,
no time.
We were shooting for 250, but before that, we weren't even shooting for 200.
No,
No.
and it just come. The support's been
Yeah, it's been crazy.
outrageous.
People reach out to us all the time.
Yeah, for real.
People that I've not even really got to know that well.
Yeah, same.
And they love the show. I actually got stopped today earlier in a grocery store by someone that keeps up with us pretty good. Caleb Craft, if you're watching, shout out to you. He said that he's been watching it.
Oh, you seen Caleb?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
He was
Caleb.
at IGA. He talked to me a
Oh,
little
dude,
bit.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, Caleb's cool.
He's a cool guy. All kinds of other people just reached out on Facebook, messaged me, and stopped me when they
Heck
see me
yeah,
out at Walmart or anything. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good feeling.
Yeah. It makes me think we're doing something right?
Yeah, for real.
But yeah. We were going to eat some ghost pepper sauce, which we did do in the previous
Where's
episode.
it at?
I actually moved it over there. It's over there.
Me and you got to do. If you don't, well, let's just take a little dab of it.
Yeah. Do you want to?
Don't squirt. I counted to 3, and he squirted it down his throat. Don't do that. That was
Yeah,
excessive.
it was
Get
a
the
lot.
Jamie, get the sauce.
Get the sauce. Let's show it to him. Take that over here.
Get it.
After my experience last night, I think I want to pass because my stomach's already upset.
I understand that
but
too.
I will have the clip of me trying it too. 'cause
Yeah,
that
there's
was
gonna be a clip
salvageable.
of it, and there's gonna be that clip of me squirting it down my throat for. It was actually 5 seconds.
It was a long time.
Yeah, and it was a lot, and it actually hurt my stomach last night. This stuff I learned, it's not nothing to play with, but I will talk about it for a second. Got this at Walmart. Melinda's creamy ghost pepper wing sauce. I think I paid $4 or $5 for it. It's not expensive, and the reason I bought it actually is I thought it was going to be much hotter. There's apparently 2 different types of this sauce. This one's the creamy buffalo style, and there is another one that's just straight up ghost pepper sauce, which had like 1,200,000 Scoville heat units. This one I think is roughly around 400,000, so it'll definitely still light you up like a Christmas tree, but it's not as bad as the other one. That's the reason I bought it, but it's still hot. And
Oh, it's definitely hot.
in that 3-hour long episode we shot, my stomach felt like there was like a molten rock sitting in the bottom of it, probably for a good 30 minutes, and it definitely it's not nothing you want to play around with. It's not that hot. Like the one hit chip challenge definitely was
Don't
hotter.
squirt it down your throat for 5 seconds.
Don't
and
do
you
that.
should
Put
be
it on
okay.
your shirt. Don't forget your shirt.
Oh yeah, that's another thing that happened. He actually got some on his beautiful white shirt too. It was a great
it
white
was a
shirt.
lot. It went all over me.
Yeah, it just squirted all over him. I think it just kind of dabs out where it's wing sauce. You're supposed to dip your wings in it.
Let's
But
take a little.
let's just get a little
just
dab
a little
here.
dab
I'll
of it.
do a little drop in my mouth. Ghost paper. It's ghost paper. Spirit of Halloween. 300 followers for everybody.
Ooh.
Hot. And it's hot.
Damn it. Oh, shit.
you about did what he did last night. He's trying to recreate that.
I'm telling you, you squeeze it just a little bit and it goes everywhere.
I got tears, dude. It's hot. It's not that bad. I know people are going to say, bro, that's kind of weak. Trust me, I've ate a lot of hotter stuff. Don't get me wrong, but that is something you look at and you think, okay, it's going to be hot, but it's not going to be that hot. And then it just keeps getting more and more intense. My mouth's you know? It's rough. That's instant heartburn. I told you it's nothing to play with. You got a little bit of a dab last night, but that's hot, ain't it?
I got a lot more this time.
How would you compare it to the
Not
wings
good.
we ate?
Yeah,
Yeah, you had a different opinion last night. You thought the wings were hotter.
it's close to the wings.
I think it's a little bit hotter, honestly, in my opinion. The wings were
Oh,
definitely
God.
scalding hot, but that follows you around.
Hot damn.
That's called ghost. It's ghost pepper because it kind of like creeps up on you or something.
Oh.
Never knew there was a deeper meaning to that. That's cool.
I don't think there is. I just
Shit.
being silly. The real name is, if you look at the ingredients, and I tried to pronounce this last night too, and I still don't know. What? Jolika? Somebody's gonna make fun of me, but I don't know how to say it. It's the actual paper's name though.
Holy crap, man.
But Jolika.
That-
That's definitely not right.
That's no joke.
It's hot, ain't it?
That's hot.
We gotta make some wings with these, but with this one day.
I would love to try it on some wings, actually.
Yeah,
We
they're
need
pretty
to.
good.
Let's do it. I told him.
Oh,
I forgot
yeah.
to tell you this. You know what I got in my freezer that I've had forever and
Chicken
not had 'em?
wings.
I've got the hot ones wings.
Did you get the final dab ones? Those
I
are the
don't-
ones
I
that are
don't-
supposed to be
I
blazing
got
hot.
I got a big bag of them up there.
Let's try those. You actually saw that final dab sauce too, didn't you, while you were out somewhere? That's nothing to mess with. I think that actually, and again, I could be wrong on my
I
sources
mean, it's
here,
that game. We need to get it because it'd be kind of
It'd be cool to
interesting to play.
but I think that sauce is actually hotter than the one chip challenge.
It's hot.
I think it might be 2.2 million.
It's hot.
Yeah,
It's gonna hurt.
I'd be willing to try it, but I don't know if I could film like a whole hour and 30-minute episode on it. You know?
I
If
feel like
we
that should
did
be
it,
a
it'd have to be at
short.
the end of the episode.
Yeah,
Maybe a live or something.
yeah, live
Anything.
stream.
Oh,
That'd be
that's a
cool.
good
Yeah,
idea.
because
That's
I would
a good
not be
idea.
able to sit for
That's
an
it.
hour after
All
that.
right, yeah.
Yeah, we can definitely get
okay,
some.
yeah, for sure.
You know that sauce is like $100 though on Amazon by itself, like a full size bottle. I think the game that you
Well, it's
get,
just-
you get like a little
The
tiny
game's
sauce.
35. You want to get it?
Yeah, we'll go.
We'll
get it.
all right for sure. Let's take a trip to Langston.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Pick up a bunch of stuff for the pod.
I still want to do what was suggested to us by my wife and go through Waverly Hills eventually. I did
Yes.
look; they're booked up bad.
They
though.
are. They
They're
are.
booked
You,
up
you,
bad.
got to book it in advance.
Yeah.
far in
She'd
advance.
asked if we were going to do the overnight thing, and I think the overnight thing might be even more booked out than the actual tour.
It is, but that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
What is the
Sure.
tour? Is it like a 2-hour walkthrough? I'm sure a
Someone's
lot
gonna
of
take us through.
you have like a person with you, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're doing it by yourself,
I
that'd
want
be
to
a
do
lot.
the private investigation for
That'd be
sure. If
cool.
we're going to do it,
How much do you
we'll-
think that would cost?
It's
Yeah,
$1,000
we looked
for
at the
10
pricing.
people, so it'd be $100 per person.
I think the tour itself is $100 for
Let's
a
get-
group.
Let's get some followers on board. Let's take a big.
I think a lot of people would be into that
Let's
stuff.
do it.
Oh, you know what? While we're talking about that, also on the last episode, we had a revelation, and some people have been waiting about this because I kind of teased it a little bit about the beer can.
Okay. What can you say about it?
Well, we'll try to say what we said last night about it. So, of course, for some context on what happened, my parents told me they'd been watching it a little bit, and I asked them if they saw the beer can move, and they said they hadn't got that far in it yet. So I showed them the clip that we took of it, and my mom was like, "Well, that's probably because of condensation." That's what a lot of people said, is it had something to do with water on the table. There were some people I think that thought it was scripted, but I can promise that was definitely not scripted.
No.
And you talked about like possibility of hair or something. You want to touch on that for a second?
Well, I got long hair. I got long beard hair. It could have got tangled up in the napkin because it comes out. Let's be honest, and it could have like been on the bottom of the beer can. But I messed with that napkin so much throughout the night, and it never moved.
Mm-hmm.
But it did happen right at the time I pulled that napkin up. The can moved, and like I said, I didn't react because I'd had a few brewskis.
And you guys looked at
that was the part that gets me every time.
If you go back and watch that clip for real, I don't know how many people noticed it. Nobody commented.
No.
I don't know how many people noticed it. 2 seconds after that can moved, me and him heard the loudest thud ever over here in the corner, and both at the same exact time look at the same exact spot and then back at each other like, "Oh my god!"
And it's like I said too during that, because we talked about it afterwards. I actually didn't hear anything. So I don't know.
It didn't pick it up on video
Whitney
either.
didn't either, and she's sitting right
She's
over
sitting
here.
closer to it.
I swear it
she's
sounded like
sitting closer to
somebody
where it
like
was at.
open hand smacked that fuck door as hard as they could.
It was hard.
Yeah.
It was loud.
Crazy. But the revelation was, I showed my mom the clip, and she was just kind of talking to me about it, and she asked where we were filming at, and my dad was in there too, obviously. So out of respect for his privacy, I'm not going to give the exact location, but I told my parents where we filmed at, and my parents was like, well, that's kind of interesting. And I don't know the details about it, and I'm not going to dive into something I don't know about, the exact details about it. But there was a person in this area that was a murderer in, I think, the 80s. And he did live, not in this specific house, but he did live on the property, which is kind of weird. A little bit weird. Yeah. And there's been some other stuff too, right?
Yeah.
Other noises we've heard. It's interesting. Definitely is a little bit creepy, I guess, but it was just it was kind of like a weird revelation, I guess.
Yeah.
Being told that happened here. I made my hair on my arm stand
So
up a
the
little
podcast maybe could potentially get a lot more interesting as
Yeah,
time
for
goes.
real.
It's possible. Who knows what's going to happen?
Who knows? So stay tuned. Who knows what'll happen at any time? Well, I mean, I don't know if it happened at this exact spot, but I'm pretty sure it did. We won't go too in depth, but somebody was stabbed like 18 times into the floorboard. Like they,
Kinda
it
weird.
wasn't just shooting. I'm not downplaying shooting somebody, but this was like gruesome, like crimes.
Brutal, fucking
Yeah,
brutal.
like something you'd see on Investigation Discovery type stuff. Yeah.
Very. It's
crazy.
weird to even talk about, really.
I had no idea about any of this until last night either when they were telling me about it.
And I got to be a little bit honest too, from my standpoint. I've always believed in supernatural stuff,
Oh, of
ghosts.
course.
But for me, I've never actually got to experience anything that I can't logic behind with some kind of reasoning to a degree. And I've watched that clip that we had 100 times, and I get what people are saying about the water and the condensation, but just the way it moves,
It
it's
moves
almost
so far.
and there's like a
too.
little spin to it too. I don't really see how even a hair or any kind of condensation can get that kind of spin on the
I feel
can
it.
on a flat surface.
And then the noise, right?
The
after.
noise is what gets me. Like, if you can come up with an explanation for the can, I get that. But like, it didn't even pick up the noise on the video, but I swear we heard it.
We did. I mean, look
was
at our. Go
crazy.
back and watch
Yeah.
our reaction for real.
Yeah, it was 100% legit. We don't script anything.
No,
We're
I
kind of
wouldn't-
just talking off our heads right now.
Yeah, of course.
That's why that last episode was so impressive.
We're just.
Yeah.
We just got this.
Three
kept
We got
flowing.
chemistry, man.
We do. It was 3 hours of just whatever we felt like talking
It's
about.
just, we got
Yeah, it was
chemistry.
great.
That's all there is to it.
Like the whole monster thing. You guys told me you hadn't tried one. I was like, we got to have you try it
Yeah.
and give you a review on it. That's just kind of how we are.
That shows just it's organic friendship that started before a podcast. It wasn't
Yeah.
just random people grouping together to try to.
That stuff don't work in my opinion.
No,
No,
of course it
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 doesn't.
never does.
You gotta kind of know some. But trying to think if we talked about anything else, or I don't think we necessarily did. I think after this we kind of just broke into.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Big
for
flanger.
some context with that too, we decided. I think it was actually Austin that came up with this.
Mhm.
It was a good idea. We did something similar on our podcast, but it was just the Halloween series. But he had a good idea to go ahead and rank a lot of different horror franchises. and there was this really cool one on tier list. What we ran into last night, let's be real about it, there was a lot that we had never heard of. I will admit, from
there was
my
like
perspective,
120 franchises.
there was like
Yeah, there's a
120,
lot.
and
Fuck was that?
we're back. Heard some weird noises, had to go investigate. I don't know, it was pretty creepy.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty creepy.
It was just a baby cry.
Yeah, it was just baby crying.
I mean,
But-
you hear that in the middle of the night.
I was ready to come up with some complete hokey pokey story, and then I just
Just to
completely
clarify, he
crapped
does
the
have a
bed.
baby, because I feel like if you didn't have a baby and we heard a baby crying, that would be pretty freaky.
Yeah, it was my son.
It was his son, but we didn't know what it was at first.
No,
No, not at all.
It sounded kind of weird.
our reaction is pretty funny though.
I kind of jumped. I was out of my seat before I could do anything.
Yeah.
You was gone.
Yeah,
You
everybody
was
was.
leaving me this.
And then I just sit here like
You ran off on me last time.
ditched him.
I was caught up in these damn cords.
Caught up in it. I don't remember what we were saying before we left now, but I know we were getting ready to do the tier list.
Yeah,
and
we
was
were.
talking
You were
about it.
explaining what the tier list is.
Yeah. So he had that idea to do a tier list on horror movies. Again, I might seem like I am a big horror guy, but I'm really not. Gotta be careful with how you say the word horror, right? Like you gotta make sure you pronounce the R at the end. or
Yeah,
else-
good enunciation, you know.
So,
Oh,
anyways, going back to that, he had that idea just to rank them. We did that last night, and there's like 120 movies,
Yeah, there's a ton.
and there was so many we just didn't know, and kind of just went off the fly with it a little bit. I will say that I learned last night doing that. This guy knows.
and we know absolutely nothing.
Me and you are bottom of the barrel horror fans.
I just have no
It feels
life.
like
if we're gonna be
proposers.
fair.
I feel like you know more than I do. I'm the odd man out here, and I'll say I used to be kind of cringe and would say that I'm a big horror guy, but really there's like a couple of series that I like a lot that I watch all the
Well, it
time.
doesn't matter that you've not watched half these
Yeah.
movies that just went straight to Netflix.
Yeah, for real.
That's true.
Or like
so-
half the shit I knew was like obscure 70s and 80s,
That's
like
what-
shitty
that's what horror
horror.
was
You
at
know,
its peak,
yeah,
really.
I wouldn't say you're not a fan
No.
because you clearly are.
Yeah,
Just because
I-
you don't know every single movie from
Yeah.
every single
I think
franchise.
I can't really say that I'm like a deep horror fan.
Well,
You
I
know
mean,
what I
that's
mean?
fine.
But
If
like,
I didn't collect VHS tapes, I wouldn't have known as many.
I was impressed.
You still have that collection?
I've
If
got
so, where's
parts
at?
of it.
Where's
He
at?
said
It's
he could,
down in that trailer
He
that
said
got
if he could
fucked
find
up.
a VHS tape, he'd let us watch some.
I know
Dude,
where a
he
bunch of
used
them
to
are.
have I remember your old.
It was like
picture. I remember your
750
older
plus
pictures.
before it got fucked up.
Wow. There's some
He had
VHS
a
tapes out there
lot.
worth some money too, ain't there?
Oh yeah, I'm sure there.
I'm
is.
sure those horror ones that we're talking about, the
Yeah.
obscure horror ones, probably fetch a good
I'd say the
price.
most I ever spent on one was like 50, and it was a special copy of Halloween.
That-
Really?
I think
Yeah,
I
it
would
was
spend
a
50 on that,
media
honestly.
copy or meta copy. I don't know how you say the company's name, but they're a
Wow.
really big company. Make really cool covers.
Okay.
All right, let's jump into it. And there's a lot of stuff to talk about, really. This is where it's probably going to get a little bit lengthy, I'd say.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
And every time we mention a new movie, we'll pop the
Yeah.
cover up on the
Yeah,
screen,
that'll be cool.
and at the end we'll
And-
show the list.
And we'll do what we had to do last time, too, because we learned a lot from last night, I think. We'll have him just pull stuff up on his phone, or you,
Yeah,
either one,
I'm gonna go
whoever
ahead
wants
and,
to. Because there was a lot of stuff. He's like our Jamie on Joe Rogan, like you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. All right. And what is the first movie that we have?
The first movie is The Exorcist, but let me start.
We don't
Go
have
ahead.
to do that.
Can
Oh,
I
I have to?
record it?
No, because I can just Google
Oh, okay.
image or picture of the cover.
I bet.
Oh,
It'd be so
okay.
much simpler.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but-
that works. It'll probably make this computer a lot quicker too.
Exactly.
okay. So we're not going to have an actual tier list presented then?
We'll just show a picture of it at the end,
And
and we'll
yeah.
just pop up covers.
Okay,
throughout
okay. I got you. All right, I'm cool with that. That probably
I
would
feel
be
like
a
it'd
good
be a lot
idea.
better than just having
Yeah.
the tier list on the screen the
Maybe
entire
take
time.
the still image of the tier list and make it smaller in the corner so they can kind of watch
Yeah,
it.
there
at
you
the
go.
top.
Well, yeah, there you
These are
go.
the
'Cause
conversations
We have,
that
we have a decent amount of space up here.
Yeah,
Like,
there you go. We can do
that
that.
green screen idea that you mentioned. I think
I'd
we
like
talked
that.
about that before we started
did.
the tier list last night. That would be
Yeah.
really cool.
these are the
something like that.
conversations the fans don't get to see. Trying to figure out the best move and stuff.
And this is done. This is hours before we
Yeah.
even start recording. Every
Well,
time
we didn't talk
single
about that either.
we're constantly brainstorming.
Yeah.
Constantly brainstorming.
It's like an all day thing.
Setting up. Yeah, we were able to jump in here and record pretty early tonight because
Before
we had,
y'all come, I come down here and just
Hustled.
absolutely
For the last 3 days, to be fair.
and actually before we start that, let's go ahead and talk about that because that's something that we scrapped out of the last episode too. How much time and stuff it takes for us to actually do this, and
Yes.
I'm not bitching or anything, right?
No,
I'm not
it's
complaining about
amazing.
it.
We
We
had
like-
so much fun.
nothing worth having's easy.
We enjoy it, but it does take a lot of time to set everything up, a lot of money, effort, and we're still putting money and time and effort and everything. Our audio is going to get better, and I think one thing, the ultimate goal, is for us to have really good mics, all be the same.
Of course.
Right now, all of our mics look completely different.
Of course.
But I want a better table, and that's kind of the stuff too. More chairs.
Yep.
We're gonna have guests.
Yep.
That's stuff that we always talk about. And when it comes to actually setting this stuff up, we're using my phone, Galaxy, right now. We've used yours in the past. We've used in the past. We talked about using different camera angles. We went to Walmart so many times to buy equipment off the last minute things that we
At
didn't
like
have to
10,
this
at
time.
like 10:30, right before they close.
Yeah, right before they closed. We were those people.
Yeah, we're those people.
Closed. Back to your house a couple of times.
Yeah.
Back to my house a few times because just forgetting last minute. I will say I think last night, if you guys can correct me wrong, we didn't have anything.
No.
Finally getting it together.
We'd made the right decision by coming on Friday also and to start the setup.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was a good-
we
that was a good-
have to. We have to.
But a lot of effort goes into it, and it's just it's going to get better.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Down the road,
Only
it
gonna
100% will. Absolutely. And now we can start the actual tier list.
Yes,
And I know
sir.
he said we have the extra.
Yeah. Just to set this
So-
up first.
Good deal. So, I can't remember what we ranked it last night.
We'll just completely negate
Yeah.
any rankings.
Yeah,
from
nice
last
That's
week.
fair.
Start fresh.
Fair.
But I don't remember what we ranked.
I
today
can't
either.
remember any of them. There's a lot of. Well, no, I'm not even.
No.
not even gonna
Yeah, let's
say
not
it
even
yet.
bring up what I was on here yet.
Yeah.
Hey, it'll come out eventually.
It
Yeah.
will.
So
Um,
I forgot the tiers on here: S, A, B, mid, D, and F.
That's what I was waiting for. There was a
Yeah, I
lot
forgot.
of-
We needed to explain the mid a little bit.
There was a
because
lot
that
of
was
mid
about a
last
10-minute segment of
lot
us
of-
just saying mid back
a
and
lot of
forth.
C's, right?
Yeah.
A lot of C's.
Yeah, it was originally C.
That doesn't mean it's bad.
No.
But that doesn't mean it's the best.
That's a misconception with mid in general.
No, it's
Mid does
not bad.
mean-
It's just
No.
there. Yeah,
When I say
it can be
something's mid-
it can be appreciated.
Yeah.
When I say something mid on Facebook, people come at me. I'm not saying it's bad.
It's just not the best.
Right.
Exactly.
But anyways, with The Exorcist, I've only seen the original. Not seen. I know they had a lot of those spin-offs. I don't even think they're really spin-offs, right? Like,
No,
That's a completely different movie,
Yeah, of
right?
course. Yeah.
so looking at the trilogy as a whole, I've
I
only ever
think.
seen the first one. You say you've seen all three of them?
I have, but I don't remember much about anything other.
The first one's just so iconic, and to me, and this is my opinion, I think it has to go on S tier. The iconic.
It does easily.
It was unheard of at the time. Can we get the year that came out?
Yeah, 73.
In a good way.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, yeah.
How many
Holds up
movies
today.
in?
Yep.
Special effects you can look at, they're not the best.
No.
Be real about it, but at the time, they were
Of course.
top-notch acting, and at the time, that was a movie that nobody had really seen.
No.
You still hear people talk about it today. My mom's and so many other people. There was this funny story about it one time. I didn't bring it up. There was this funny, but it was a post online that I saw one time, and essentially what it said is that the guy said that his mother-in-law theater and watched the original. Or no, I'm sorry, she didn't watch the movie. She read the book. It was based on.
Yeah.
The book. And he said that the book really freaked her out, and she said that she threw it to the ocean after reading. It really scarred her. So this guy went out and got the book in and dipped it in some water and put it in her nightstand. He said that she fainted. So it has that everlasting impact, and that's why I think that alone gives it S tier.
Yeah.
And we were pretty generous with our S tiers last
Yeah.
night, but I think this one holds up and should be.
So, fun fact, I didn't know this. There's actually 5 movies in this series.
I had
So-
no clue.
I didn't know
There was
that
one
either.
in 73, 77, 90, and 2004. And
There
they
was
put
one
out
that-
2, so 2004 and 2005.
I
They
did
had-
not know
They
that.
had two
One coming out
recent-
next year, too.
What was the names of
apparently.
those?
So we have
Well, most two recent.
the 2 recent one was Exorcist: The Beginning, and then Dominion, prequel to The Exorcist.
I feel like nobody's really told me about those. I feel like we
I
need
feel
to
like
watch
those are straight to DVD. Had to be.
Probably a good point. But I feel like I want to check those out.
Yeah, we might have to check those out.
Give like a review on them. All right, so that's S tier then. What do we have next?
The Thing. I remember the tier ranking for that because I want to just go
All
ahead and
right.
say the same
It's
thing.
S.
It's S tier, 100%.
I'm gonna argue against it a little
We're
bit.
gonna say A.
I'm gonna say A, and the reason is just because it does have a great impact. And I can't even really talk about the original because I've never seen it. But I think when everybody thinks the Thing, they talk about John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Of course.
And it was great. I remember watching it. It got a reboot in the early 2000s too, right? And I remember that was the first time I saw it, and then I did watch the John Carpenter one, and it was a great movie. But you think it kind of in the classification of S holds up that value? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think so?
Yeah.
I can be swayed
Like,
because
the story is so good. You don't know who is infected. Just so good.
yeah, it was good. I can
It's really
I can
good.
agree. You guys swayed me. We can put it in S tier again.
Let's see. Yeah. That's good.
Next, we have the Resident Evil series.
Okay. You said you hadn't really watched most
I've
of those.
not watched any of them.
I seen. I don't even remember how many there is in total, but I know
Too
I
many.
watched. I watched the first 3 that came out, and at the time it was cool. I was really big into zombies. I think every kid was at some point. You know, so that part alone makes me look at it in a different light. But if it's one of those movies you can't go back and
Right.
it doesn't hold up. There's not really much memorable about it. So that's why I would say it's at least mid,
I was
arguably
about to
D.
say a lot mid.
Yeah, light mid, arguably D.
Yeah.
I'm fine with either of those because I don't know.
I'll let you make that call then. Either one of those 2 tiers. I can't really. I can make an argument for both.
Throw it in mid and then see what else goes in there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. Mid. That's mid.
Just because I want to throw something in mid.
Okay.
Next, we have Candyman.
Yeah, I gotta sit this one out.
The first one's really good.
I agree.
I heard a lot of people talk about it, and I think my sisters enjoyed those movies a lot. But it's not something that I've ever. I
You should
say
watch the first one.
worth
Good
watching.
story.
It's good.
I'll check it out.
My ranking on that's probably a low B, high mid.
That's where I was
High
thinking
mid.
too.
One of the two.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say, if that's going in mid, Resident Evil definitely go to.
Listen,
That's very true.
I gotta say, I have to talk about it. We ended up with what'd you say, 40 movies in mid tier last night.
it was a lot.
And we changed it to mid tier halfway through. We kept saying it was mid because there's a lot of mid horror movies.
Yeah, there really is.
All right, what do we got next?
Next, we have the Human Centipede.
I gotta sit it out too. It's one I'm not familiar with. Obviously, I know the story and everybody talks
Yeah.
about it.
Well,
But
I
I can't
mean-
give an opinion.
I mean, they were pretty weird.
They were strange.
And I hate boys. Hear me out. It's a low B, high mid.
Again, not the mid.
Maybe even
I heard a
low,
lot of
I'ma
people
throw that
talking
one
about
in
it. It did
mid.
have a lot-
maybe even low mid, high D.
Okay.
It had a lot of buzz around it. I'm sure the shock value is worth watching it, but nothing really. Obviously, when people talk to me about it, they tell me what it was about, and it's just not something that I went out of my way to watch.
It was interesting.
Recommend it?
No,
yeah, no.
but it was
Okay.
interesting.
I'll avoid that one.
I'll
I'm
tell you
not
to
saying to
watch it,
avoid
but
it.
I'm not recommending it either.
Yeah, I'll tell you to watch it, but I'm not saying that.
You're not
In a
gonna,
good way.
you probably won't
Yeah.
enjoy what you watch. Though.
Is it that
but you're
bad?
not gonna be able to look
Is it
away.
kind of
No.
disgusting? Because another concept.
It's like
is
a
it
train
that
wreck.
nasty?
You're not going to look away.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm thinking about it again. It's just kind of making me wince a little bit, but I'll definitely check it out.
Oh, it'll make you wince a lot when you watch it.
Oh, boy.
It's
There's like
interesting.
3 of them too. Is
Yeah,
There's
there's
a
I
few.
looked that up last
There's a
night. I think
few.
there was 3.
All right.
So I'd say this is the really big heavy hitter, Friday the 13th.
Oh, we had a lot
We
to
had
say
some, we
about
had
that
some
last night.
disagreements on this.
We
last
We had a
night.
lot to say about it too. All right, I'll start it off. I'll kick it off. If you followed me on Facebook, you know that I watched a lot of horror movies. Probably 3 or 4 years ago. I binge watched a lot of them, bought a lot of the collections, and kind of just went through them start to finish. It was like a Halloween thing. Right? I wanted to go back and relive because these movies, especially this one, Friday the 13th was one of the most iconic movies growing up. When I was a kid, I probably enjoyed it more than other movies that we'll talk about later. There was something about just the hockey mask.
Yeah,
So
right.
iconic. But when I sit down and binge watched them, I really enjoyed the earlier movies. And again, that's a recurring theme that we know from last night. It's a recurring theme. Even the ones that he's not present in, I think it was the first 2. Really great movies. And obviously, I love the third one. Which in the third one, we didn't really talk about this last night, but he didn't even really get his hockey mask in the third one, did he?
He had the.
It was like a
a
sack,
sack,
wasn't it?
yeah.
It was a sack. But still, it was great. It was a good movie. And we
I think
also
he looks scarier with this.
I do too.
more intimidating because what's under that sack?
You're right, exactly.
No, with the mask on, you can kind of see that he's a zombie.
Yeah.
But we also talked about too that scene kind of improvised.
Improvised.
I keep forgetting that word for some reason. Yeah, there was a snake that was actually in there, and I thought it was fake the entire time. So when I read that was just kind of off the wall, and they killed a snake because it was supposed to be there. It was
Yeah.
kind of shocking in a way, not in a
That
bad way.
sucks.
It does
They
suck.
could
Yeah,
have moved it.
could have
out.
handled it better. Yeah, it was just I like those little obscure facts. I mean, but still getting off subject a little bit. The older movies definitely hit good. Even some of the later ones were good. I know you talked about Jason Goes to Manhattan.
I love that movie.
It's not memorable to me, and
I like it.
I can't really remember much about it. That's why I said that I can't really talk too much about it. I remember not being a huge fan of it, and I don't know exactly why. But when I think of the even weaker movies, obviously Jason,
Yeah.
very weak,
Bad.
just in space. I remember, wasn't there a scene on there too where he like two chicks try to seduce him? It looks like kind of like there's a sex scene getting ready to happen. He just starts beating them with each other like in a sleeping bag. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Maybe, I don't know.
Like I
Doesn't
remember,
he come back because of a sex scene in that movie?
is that the plot line?
Like,
Is
doesn't
it?
something happen and they like hit a fucking lever or some shit and wake him up after they find him? Or am I
Oh,
thinking
yeah,
of something wrong?
Yeah, he's right. He's on a spaceship for some reason.
Yeah,
He's like frozen.
It's in the
Frozen.
future and they went back and found him.
Imagine finding that. And why would you want to take it wherever you're going?
You tell me.
But anyways, I keep sidetracked. There's just a lot to say about this series. Great series, very near and dear. But I don't know what is it.
Low A, high B.
I agree with
I
that.
can't see it going in B.
It has to be A then.
It
It's
has
not
to be
S.
A.
It's not S,
No,
but I
I
will
agree.
say A.
Yeah, because it's not as impactful as some of the other ones we talk about. But as far as iconicness, big three, you've got when I say big three, obviously Michael. When everybody talks.
Yep.
So yeah, A tier.
The next one, I know you said you hadn't watched The Lost Boys.
Yeah, I've not seen that. I can't really say
S
anything
It's
about
tier.
it.
amazing. Great S.
They told me that I need to watch it, and that's
Definitely
something
do.
I'm getting some recommendations from
S
these
tier.
guys. I'll
It's one of my
definitely check it
favorite
out.
movies of all time. Like not even horror, just
Can we get like a recap on it again too?
so two boys move to a town station of vampires.
Just sounds cool. Cool concept.
It's cool.
I always like vampire movies. And one that I know is not on here. That
Is
I
it
really
really a
enjoy.
horror movie though?
Back then, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
Nowadays,
I
I
think
wouldn't look
time
at it as one.
Yeah.
It'd be more like maybe kind of a thriller nowadays.
Thriller and horror you intertwine so often.
Yeah, they do.
But I really like the vampire concept. I always thought that was a cool
Yeah.
concept too. And one movie that we didn't really get to talk about last night, it's not a horror movie either, but just a really great movie. Interview with a Vampire.
You never seen it?
I actually
You've not
haven't
seen
seen it either.
Really? That's one that I can actually recommend to you guys. That's a killer movie.
Really?
It's not really a horror movie. It's definitely, Interview with a Vampire. That's what it's about. But it's a really cool concept. I definitely recommend that one.
It has Brad Pitt in it.
Is that who plays in that?
I'm pretty sure.
This guy knows his actor. He
He
does.
does.
Yeah, I'm definitely weaker when it comes to acting.
Me
Sure.
too.
Well, I'm not going to say anything. We'll wait. But yeah. So we'll put that in S tier, and I'll check it out. Check it out.
Next, we have the Evil Dead series.
That's a good one. So we didn't really talk about this either. Trying to keep it all fresh too. And some people get mad, but do you think the reboot was better than the original?
Damn near.
It's close.
It's damn
It was really
near.
good.
I love the original.
It was
It's
much
great.
I do
scarier.
too. It's much scarier.
Yeah, it
But-
really
but
is.
in a jump scare
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Even if we're talking about jump scares, that movie made me feel so uneasy. The
It's a good
scenes,
It's
the
good-
gore,
it's
the
good-
blood.
Good movie, wasn't it?
Those kills in that movie are amazing. They're
Good.
such good specials.
movie. Good movie.
So, and we talked to there's the original is great. The reboot that came out. When did that come out? Do we know? 2000. Was it in this decade? No, it's not in this decade.
It's
Obviously, We're in a different-
2000s, I think.
it was like 2010 or
maybe.
I can't remember the exact year here.
No, it's 2012.
I remember being like a teenager watching.
2012.
It was one of those
13.
movies.
13.
13. Okay. So it made me feel uneasy. Watching. It really did, and I think it was just because of the gore. Not really like one of those.
I remember going to the theater and watching it,
I didn't watch it.
and it was insane.
I bet it was. I said there was a lot of screams.
It's crazy. I don't remember too much, but we went to the theaters and watched it. It's
And-
crazy.
No, the next Comic Con's iconic.
It's crazy. Yep. I gotta say A. I'm
gonna
gonna
say A.
I'm not gonna say AS, but it's A.
I can't really say put it in the S tier just because I've only seen the original, not seen the sequel, but they've never really captivated me. I think I might have watched Ash vs. Evil Dead. Doesn't he have like a chainsaw attached?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I
I
think
might
that
have.
happens in like the second movie, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, I think I might have watched that one, but it definitely didn't grab me the way the first one or the reboot did.
Gotcha.
A tier's cool with me.
Next, we have Creep Show.
That's another one that I've not seen. I think you guys recommended that
Yeah,
to
you
me
definitely
too.
should check it. Stephen King, right?
I think so. What?
Bunch of
Is
little
it?
short stories. Feel like.
Check on that too.
I could be
Pull that up.
wrong.
Check it out real quick.
If it was, I didn't know it was.
Stephen King's had a lot of movie adaptations.
It is okay. I'm gonna give.
But it was directed by George A. Romero.
I'm gonna give it.
Oh.
I'm gonna give it a B.
I agree with that.
I know we're going to talk about more Stephen King stuff later on too, but there's a lot of really cool Netflix adaptations he has. Have you watched that? God, there was one. I think I watched it maybe probably 5 years ago. It was on Netflix, and I can't remember the name of it. And you guys are gonna know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you've seen it, but it's basically a wife and a husband having like marriage issues. Does that ring a bell? Well,
What's the opening scene? Because I think I know what you're talking
I think
about.
you know. I'd say you do because it was a really big movie when it came out, and it came on Netflix. And I can't remember the
Gerald's
opening
Game,
scene.
maybe?
That's it. Gerald's Game. If you've not watched that, check that one out.
Yeah.
Really cool
I've never seen it.
concept.
It is.
And I don't want to spoil too much about
Yeah.
it because it's one of those ones you need to go into
You're not going to be
blind.
expecting it.
But
Wait. I could be completely wrong. This isn't that movie where they're like chained to the bed.
Yes,
like,
it
stuck to
is,
the bed.
it is.
Yeah, I know what you're
That
talking
movie's
yeah, I've seen it.
great.
Yeah, I remember one.
That
Yeah,
is a
my
great
bad.
movie.
Yeah, I remember
That's-
the movie.
would you consider that a horror movie?
No, but it was insane.
More probably closer to a thriller. I don't even know drama.
It's
maybe
maybe like more psychological.
Yeah, I was going to
or-
say like psychological
Yeah.
horror.
But it was a great movie.
Great movie. Yeah, I knew. Yeah.
There was
I got
another
you.
one he had that's on Netflix too, and Tiffany. I watched part of it with her, and it kind of poured me in. I watched more of it, and basically this. I think it might have been a family. They kind of go out to like this cornfield or something. Like there's a reason it kind of like lures you into it.
Like Into the Tall Grass or
What
something.
is
Is it Into the Tall Grass?
Yeah,
or
that's
something
it.
like that?
That's another really cool one.
I've never seen it.
Check that one out because it's a good one too. But again, I don't want to touch too much on the spoilers on it. It's just a cool concept.
Yeah. Next on the list is Halloween.
Well,
There we go.
We're gonna talk about it for sure. This is one of those ones that kind of like Friday the 13th. You got to talk about the entire franchise as a whole.
well, I told you starting off, it drops a tier just based off ends.
I still think it goes in S.
It's A.
I think it goes in S tier.
It's A.
We gotta look at the
Yeah.
franchise.
I want it to be S.
I get that, and I know you are the biggest Halloween fan that I know.
If it was Halloween 1 and 2, it'd be above S.
It have a tier of its own.
If it was even the franchise without ends, it'd be above S.
It's kind of like Friday the 13th. They just do it to death, and it suffers from too many movies.
Yep, it does.
But you got to look at it as a
But
whole.
there's more good than bad.
Definitely.
For sure. For sure.
I still think it's just too iconic. You know how many Michael Myers I've seen at the trunk or treat and stuff? You know,
I know.
it's
know.
huge. And those first two movies are just so big,
They are.
Everlasting
They're two of
impact.
the best movies of all time,
Yeah.
regardless of genre.
regardless of genre. Great acting,
Great. Perfect.
special effects, time frame 70. You said 79 last night, or was it 78? It's one of the two. I think it's 78. I always get it mixed up. There's something else that came out in 79. It might have been Alien.
Yeah, Alien was
But-
79.
But it's just iconic, and that's my argument for it being an S tier. Is I think there's more good than there is bad.
I'll give it S tier too.
We give it S tier.
I
Yeah,
will,
yeah. I'm glad I
yeah.
could sway you on that.
Yeah.
And you know,
I can't do Michael like that.
I've been a fan too long.
So for the series with the movies, I would put it in A. But for the strength of like Michael himself, like as a character and as like an
Iconic.
icon, he's an S. But the movie series itself is an A.
I can actually
Yeah.
wholeheartedly agree.
yeah,
with
that's agreeable. It's just I wish they would quit looking at the money.
because I'm gonna be honest with you. He knows this. When we go to haunted houses and stuff, you know, I see Freddy coming at me. I see Jason coming at me. Even a guy with a chainsaw coming at me.
Chainsaws always get me.
But when I see Michael Myers coming at me, that's just I don't know what it is about it, man. It's different.
It is. He's looked at
He's a little
differently
different.
compared to any other of the horror icons. I feel like he's kind of like in a league of his own.
He is. He
Um,
really is.
Cool concept, great movies through and through. Few stinkers here and there. Resurrection was weak. You know, I actually you know, I got some pushback on that a little bit. Somebody told me that I needed to rewatch it because it wasn't as bad of a movie as I said it was. I said it was probably, in my opinion, even with the new one out, and we talked about the new one a little bit more too, and I think we ought to do that. But I still think Resurrection's the worst movie in the franchise. You don't think it is?
It's the second worst.
You're putting this one at the worst?
Yeah, of course.
I actually agree.
It's not great. It's not.
There's no way.
We defended it kind of early on, and I think the reason that we did was because we had such low expectations going into it. You know, it bombed. I didn't see anybody defending it at all.
No.
So when I pressed play, I was expecting something even worse than what I was given.
Me too.
But you know, we said that it wasn't as bad as people were making it out to be. It's definitely a very, very weak movie in a beloved franchise, which always hurts the most. But it's like we said previously too. Just makes more sense from a logical standpoint. Kind of switch up feels and ends.
Yeah.
Maybe take the last 30 minutes out of the show.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
It just needed some backstory with Corey and Allison. I feel like it would have
Very
been a good
weak.
movie. Like if
It-
it had like that backstory, because it just felt so out of
It
character
need-
for
it
every
needed,
one of them.
It needed more Michael too.
Yeah, more Michael, and maybe even
I would have been okay without Michael, honestly, because if They
Oh,
kept
he's
the
fat.
ending of the last one where he got the fuck beat out of him. It makes sense that he's already old as shit, and he got the fuck beat out of him by the whole town. So he's like hid down there, and he's wanting somebody for help. He uses him and then kills him, but that's not really how they played it there.
Yeah, he's.
not how
I
it's
see. I see his logic behind it
I do
too.
too.
Bless Michael, but it's Halloween. It's kind of like Season of the Witch. You go into it and you expect Michael, and he's not there.
But see, I mean, I guess at the time they didn't know how many movies there would be.
Yeah.
But this one we knew was the end of the franchise.
It's
And
true.
For
Yeah.
there to be 10 minutes of Michael Myers in, it's just kind of slap in the face.
Yeah, I agree.
Really.
And we're gonna come back to this too. But I gotta rant a little bit about Season of the Witch. It is not a bad movie.
No, I love that
No,
movie.
No.
Great act. Great
Great
plot.
act. Yes.
It's like I said. When I first went through it, I went through the whole series, and I saw the cover of it. I was like, no Michael Myers. Right. A little bit weird, but I started watching the movie, and the whole entire time I was like, all right, he's getting ready. Something's gonna happen. All the way up until like the last 15 minutes of the movie, and then I was just like, there's no Michael. What is this? Started reading a little bit online, and they were like, yeah, there is no Michael. That's a big thing. Everybody trashes the movie.
Yep.
Get bombed at the time. At the time, I'm sure too. If you watched the first, second theater, you went to the third one. You were all right. This is gonna be the best Halloween. I don't know how the advertising.
I don't either.
I can't. It's something I can't say. I don't
Yeah.
know if they pitched it and just kind of made you feel like that he was gonna pop up. I know even my dad, he was alive and he was a big horror guy back then. He constantly craps too. But if we just kind of take that Halloween title off there and label the
Exactly.
Season of the Witch,
It's one of the best horror movies ever, I think.
iconic,
I love it.
Silver Shamrock tone.
I love that
iconic.
song. People hate that apparently. I saw
Yeah.
that in comments and shit.
It's not a liked movie. It's
I
not
love
by anybody. I think that's the main reason why. I made a status about it after I went back and rewatched it with an open mind. I watched it 2 times, pretty close together. I watched it with a more open mind, and I was like, that is a pretty solid movie. It's pretty
Yeah,
great.
It's really good.
And I made a status about it, and people just instantly pitchforks out mob. Like I made the entire franchise mad for saying it was a good movie.
I went into it knowing the backstory and how he wanted
Yeah.
it to be an anthology, so I knew he wasn't going to be in there, and I watched it with a different lens, not looking at it as a Halloween movie, but just a movie, and I thought it was amazing.
Exactly.
Like I
and
love the masks, the whole concept of it.
I gotta
Everything's
say
awesome.
too, I would have much preferred, honestly, and this is not maybe because I know there were some good sequels for Halloween that came later. I would have liked to have seen what he would have done with an anthology.
Me
I
too.
do too.
I would have liked to see how that played out.
I
But
feel like this newest one would have been good in a sense of them doing it in that way.
I feel like it would have been a good movie if you take Michael out of the equation completely.
Yeah.
A movie without any backstory, just a brand new horror movie advertised. I feel like it would have been pretty solid.
I do too.
But I always, that's one question that as a horror guy that we'll never get to know. We'll never get to know how that anthology would have played out. I bet he had some plans like already in the books, but opening night the movie bombed. I'm sure there was a crowd throwing Rotten Tomatoes at the screen like they did back in the old days or whatever they did. But I'd say that he saw that backlash and was like, I can't do this. We're gonna have to bring Michael 4 and 5.
I think he still wanted it. No, he quit after that, I'm pretty sure, because he really wanted it to be an anthology, but the studio was pressing him for the money because they wanted him back because Michael makes the money.
Yeah, obviously that's what everybody loved. He became an icon after the first
He
movie.
did. Oh yeah, he did.
First movie, and that movie is just so good, start to finish. Keeps you on the end of your seat. You come back with a banging sequel, and I could see how at the time, if you see a movie called Halloween 3, you'd want to see more of what you saw in the first.
You would.
But it was just a good movie. You got to have an open mind when you watch it. Who did direct 4 and 5? Somebody that we know. I don't think it is. It'll probably be somebody that we have no idea. But like he said when he was talking about getting rebooted again,
One named Dwight H. Lee.
no clue.
And also, I wanted to throw something out there because I thought this was true. I didn't want to say it before I knew, but it didn't actually do that bad in the box office. It was
No.
14.4 million, so it's above 5.
Can you see what the reviews were at the time? Because usually when box offices are still pretty high, a lot of people might go and look at it, go watch the movie, so it's going to sell good, but they might not have had a very good opinion of it at the time. I was thinking, if that makes sense.
I see what you're saying.
Because I mean, yeah, we've already got you money.
We know who the number 1 movie of all time is, box office wise, right? Avatar. There's a lot to say about
I've never
that.
seen Avatar.
You've never seen that? There's a lot to say about it.
Is it good? Is it that good?
I don't think it is, and
Oh.
I made something about that similar too, because it's getting a sequel after.
Oh, it is really.
Yeah, it's getting a sequel, and that's why there's. I went to Walmart not too long ago looking at. We were going to do a costume segment. I wanted like a really crappy one. I couldn't really find anything that I wanted to wear, But I noticed there was a lot of the Avatar costume because that sequel's getting ready to come back out. Yeah, it's getting hyped up really big too. Actually,
Well, Roger Ebert from like gave it a 1.5
that's pretty bad. It's not a
on
great score.
October 31st.
It's not a great score from a critic. I'm sorry.
I looked up. It's 7, but 3 is definitely not the lowest.
Do you know what it is already?
I can look it up.
Find out because I want me and you to make a guess. And you, before you even enter, what do you think
Yeah, the worst, probably
box office wise?
the Resurrection.
I want to say 6.
I think 6 did fair in the box office, but I have to agree with him. Resurrection. We'll see. That, and again, that's one movie I can't see really. It was cool. There was some cool scenes in there. I
That or
mean,
maybe H2O.
H2O didn't do good when it came out either. That's a good point.
Maybe H2O. But I love H2O.
H2O was great. One of the best movies in the franchise. Worldwide.
6.
You was
never,
right.
Never mind. 5, The Revenge.
Oh,
That's got me a little heated.
five's a
4 and
solid.
5 are solid movies.
They were hated on,
People are
too, when they came out,
People are
though.
just whatever.
It's because it's kind of like the ending we got with what is it, Halloween Ends. There's a lot of light on characters that didn't really bear resemblance. But such a cool concept. Great those 2 movies are great. I don't have a problem. I'm not going to attack them. 6, Resurrection, probably Ends, probably bottom of the barrel.
There's no argument for me. Like, we have the exact same opinion on the franchise.
And 6, you actually said too 1.5, and I might be wrong, but I thought you said awful, and it's not. It's just they put.
You have to watch like the director's cut to get like that extra 15 minutes of footage, which still just makes it kind of even more confusing.
Yeah,
But they tried, I guess. I'll always give some, points for you tried, but
it could have been worse. I still think Resurrection's the weakest.
Take a guess on how much Resurrection.
if it's a high number, I'm gonna be mad.
50 million.
What's your
17 million.
37?
Kind of in the middle. That's not
Yeah,
bottom of the
3
barrel.
is actually the second lowest performing.
Now I'd say that makes sense. I'd say the movie critics probably got out there early after watching. But definitely interesting.
If you look at it, though, they made 3 off a $2.5 million budget. That's
Oh,
still
okay.
$12 million profit.
I gotta say something here.
So,
All my players are done.
fantasy update.
I have a 24-point lead on you.
What's Jokic got right now?
He's got 24 just in the first quarter.
Ooh.
Well, guess what?
What's up?
Davis is playing for me. He's got 13 in the first quarter.
We're talking fantasy. We're in a fantasy league.
Bob was up by
Hey.
like 80 last time I looked.
You need to get this guy a napkin. You see that sweat rolling down him right now?
I'm sweating a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, Bob.
Last week I had the highest score overall.
God.
Everybody in the
He's
league.
got the high score right now.
I think you probably.
Yeah, no.
Last time I checked, it was you already before we started recording.
Davis is going in.
It is indeed you. You were at 624.
Who's the lowest?
Lowest is AJ.
Sorry,
12.
AJ.
Dang, man.
I thought it looks like I said in the group chat. There's always
So
next
Zach's beating him
Yeah.
by how much?
Close to 200.
week. There ain't no coming back.
Dang.
Bob almost has me by.
Oh,
We were really close earlier.
You guys were. You were.
what
it was
a
like
week
20
we've
points.
had, boys. The Tides have
Shifted to draft. I thought Andrew was gonna win.
I did too. We got an interesting league going.
Yeah, fantasy league. Nobody. You kind of gotta know about fantasy to even understand what it is. But I like it a lot. Fantasy is a cool concept.
It is.
You think
First
in
time I ever
March we
tried
should
it.
have all 6 of us over here on an episode when it's
That would be cool.
That would be pretty
like we
fun.
already do
After
that?
the championship game,
You
yeah,
about to?
yeah. The whole episode about fantasy.
So back to the list here. We have A Nightmare on It.
Me, and I know it's the movie, Freddy versus Jason, but to me they're kind of synonymous, and they share a lot of similar traits. In my opinion,
I'm gonna big time agree.
they share a lot of the similar traits, as in kind of like what everything else we've talked about that has 15 sequels probably. Maybe not that much, but it's close.
enough.
We get a number on that. I want to say probably it's between 10 and 15.
I was gonna say like 8 or 9, between 7 and 9.
I think there's at least.
I think we looked this up last
Really?
night too. Yeah, I think
Yes.
it's close to it. No worries.
Using this.
Yeah, we'll get the equipment better. Better laptop and check too.
Original series. So with the remake, that'd be 8, I guess.
Oh, that's less than I thought it would be. I think Friday the 13th definitely has more
I
than.
knew it. I'm gonna give Freddy an A.
Definitely deserve.
I would say A too. He's actually my favorite, but with just the strength of the movies, definitely an A.
A.
I think 4 is my favorite still. I said that last night too. I love the 4. I love the 4th one. I don't remember what it is about it, but I did
like-
check it out.
I like New Nightmare.
Yeah, it was
Wes
good.
Craven's, yeah, it
Yeah.
was great. A lot of people hate on that too. It's kind of like horror fans in general, maybe just movie fans in general. They don't like reboots. They're not a fan of reboots at all. What happened there?
Yeah,
Strawberries and cream.
again.
We had each other's.
What do you have? Try that. Killer.
Got over there.
Good. Don't like it?
It's fake.
Oh, is it fake? It's a shelf bar?
I like that one pretty good, man.
I love that strap.
Yeah, that one's good. You call me the man of many vapes.
You don't hit them all 3 at once, though.
I have before. I think you're right. I don't want to. But yeah, definitely an A tier is deserved. A lot of great, solid movies. It seems like I don't know what it is, but what I was going to say is it seems like everybody kind of just instantly hates reboots. You know, Rob Zombie's Halloween bombed. Wes Craven's
The
Nightmare
reboot
bombed.
for Nightmare sucked, though.
It did.
It
but-
was
But
terrible.
Wes
Rob
Craven's was good.
Rob Zombie's first Halloween was really good.
It's what got me into the series.
Two had
Halloween.
potential to be good.
2, the first half was okay.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about those when we was talking Halloween. But
It
yeah,
had the potential. He just didn't execute it properly. I don't think.
No.
Like the White Horse storyline's confusing.
Yeah.
it was definitely.
Next week. Yeah, we should probably just wait for that water to quit, right?
Yeah, we'll cut that out.
Why?
Ah, fuck it. We got an alien.
If they can hear that, our audio's got a bad problem.
I looked over and actually didn't pick it up.
Oh,
It didn't pick it up. That's what I was
There's
looking
no
at.
way it did.
No, it didn't. I
there.
watched.
We did enough work that
If we
should
did,
not
we gotta
have
go
picked
back
up.
to the drawing board
Yeah.
for the 50th time.
We're gonna have to start breaking shit is what we're gonna have to do. We're
What?
gonna have to start breaking shit is what we're gonna have to do.
Limp Bizkit.
All right, Fred.
Hey now.
You
Catch
kinda
me
look like
rolling.
Fred. You kind of look like Fred right now.
I like Fred.
I like that. Thank you. Are we talking about like when he's dressed up as the old dude right
Yeah.
now? I like that a lot better.
Honestly,
Thank you.
You know, see, oh my God, yeah, he
Thank you.
dresses up as like
Yeah.
an old man now, and he
I'm not
looks
seeing
just like him when he's in his old.
I love it.
I saw him in a commercial recently too. It was a strange commercial.
Fred Durst.
Yeah.
What commercial?
I don't know. I feel like we ought to put that in here for them to see it too. But if I remember right, he's like getting groceries. Strange as it is.
Fred Durst.
Fred Durst.
He's
Yeah.
got that cart rolling.
He's like he gets out. He's like walking across the street with a bag of groceries. And he's like, "I'm Fred Durst," and that was the whole commercial.
No,
I'm pretty sure that's how it was.
I will look it up. And
I
put
need
it
to
in.
see that.
Yeah, we'll watch it after this. I remember I heard you say we're on Alien now.
Yes,
we had a lot
sir.
to say about that last night too. One of the rare instances, and again, I gotta be honest, I've not seen all the sequels. I don't any of the sequels. Watched the original book from the beginning, from the second I watched. At the time when it came out in '79, a female lead dominated the movie. Such good acting, such good theming. Everything about it just kicks ass
Yeah.
hard. Great ass.
Sigourney Weaver is a badass.
Exactly. And I mean, look at the kind of inspiration that we didn't even touch base on that. Look at the inspiration that has captivated. You know, Metroid and Contra were based on Alien, and those are two great series. Classic NES and S tier. On the first movie alone, it doesn't have enough sequels to warrant being so watered down by crappy. I've not even seen the other sequels, but that original movie deserves.
I was gonna say A, but I would be okay with this.
I just realized something. So I thought I'd seen the first and second one. Turns out I've seen the first and third one.
Okay.
Aliens isn't the second one. Apparently, Alien 2.
I
I've never
watched-
heard of that.
I watched the Angry Video Game Nerd review these movies at some point, and actually, he was playing Alien 3 on NES, and the whole point of the thing that I was going to say is that I know he said that in the end of the movie, I think it was on the third one, because she's like on another planet or whatever,
I
right?
like it.
Yeah, and I think in the third one, the game just kind of butchered it. The NES game, like it always does. It was made by LJN.
No,
LJN.
LJN's
Of course.
terrible.
LJN.
You know you love those that Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street.
I love the colors. of
I gotta say, the
Jason
Friday
in
the
that game.
the Friday the 13th one isn't bad. I had a good time with it. It's hard. It's very difficult,
I've
but
got
it's fun.
NECA figure that's Friday the 13th, the Jason when it's NES style. When you open the box, it plays the music from the
What
game.
was
so
what was the big deal with the NES? Didn't they mess up the colors somehow? Isn't he like purple or something?
Yeah,
It
he's
just looks
purple,
bad, but it's
teal, and
funny.
green.
But
I
it's-
love it.
But neither of those games are as bad as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game on the Atari.
Sorry, yeah.
Didn't they put the skin from that game into the Friday the 13th game? Like
Yeah.
I think
That
so.
would be cool. I'd
I'm
say
pretty
they
sure it is.
probably
It looks
did.
sick.
That's a way to captivate
That's
the
pretty-
audience.
I wanted that Friday the 13th game to do so good.
I did
You know
too.
when I got that Black
So
Friday at
it,
GameStop?
it was doing
Uh-huh.
pretty good. I don't know if you know the story of why
Oh,
it's
yeah, I
not
do, I
doing good
remember.
now. So like that lawsuit that was going on, fuck them too. They had to just completely stop adding anything to it.
What was the lawsuit about?
It's over the original creator and the like director or something over who owned it.
Gotcha.
That's why Friday versus Jason took so long too. It took like 20 years
Huh.
because of studio rights and all kinds of shit.
I thought you were going to say when you talking about a lawsuit. I thought you were going to say, because here's my perception with it. I never really played the game that much. The NES one, yeah, I did play it, but not the more recent one that came out. But when you said lawsuit, my mind instantly went to them getting sued by like Dead by Daylight, because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
such a similar game.
It is pretty.
Same concept,
I've
really.
never played Dead by Daylight.
Got a huge
I
fan
have
It's pretty
base.
fun
Is
from what
it?
I've played a little bit
You
of
want
it.
to play it?
Oh,
We
yeah.
ought to try it out. That would be something we could stream together, maybe,
Let's do it.
because it's got a huge fan base. And I will say the cool thing about Dead by Daylight is all the different kind of like themes you can get.
I agree.
I always see the DLC, but you got to pay for all of them too.
Of course you do.
I could be
but-
wrong, but I think it's crossplay too.
It is,
It is.
but yeah, that's how I feel about that.
So yeah, S tier on it.
Yeah. We were talking about Alien, and somehow we ended up talking about every other franchise in existence right now.
Mm-hmm.
So the next one is The Omen.
All right. So I will say this starting out. I've not seen the actual movie, but I did watch a documentary about it. As weird as that is, on YouTube. I was talking to Austin about it too earlier. There was a lot of stuff that happened with that movie, and it might be a good idea, kind of like to run through some of it. I don't remember the exact stuff, but there was a lot of death and a lot of issues filming the movie. It's a very dark concept in general.
It's something on a devil.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Devil's
what the whole
Stone.
movie's about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the thing that we talked about previously was, of course, there was one of the actors, and what was his name again?
It's Gregory Peck, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. He had a flight schedule, and he ended up having to cancel. And the flight that he was supposed to be on ended up crashing, and there was like no survivors.
And his makeup flight got struck up by lightning.
There you go. I mean, just a very tainted thing. But I know you guys. I think you said you watched the movie, and I don't. Did you say you watched?
Yeah, I
it?
watched the first one.
I can't really give any feedback on the movie itself because I've not seen it. I didn't want
It
to throw that.
scared the fuck out of me when I watched it, but I was much younger and I've not went back.
B.
See, I can go with that.
B.
I'd like to watch it. I think that's something that I'd have to see if I'm going to talk about horror movies in
I think
general.
there was a newer one too in like the late
Yeah, there's a
Like-
few.
late 2000s, early teens.
Is that what the definition of Omen is? Devil's Child? Because there's
It's
a
like
lot
a
of stuff.
bad sign.
Yeah, it's a but yeah.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
'Cause I always wondered what exactly it meant, because I know there's like a PC
It's like
line.
a bad sign.
There's a PC, a game of PC pre-built that you can buy. It's called The
Yeah, I
Omen.
know.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that use the actual name. Which is just interesting, I guess.
These chairs are
It
uncomfortable.
looks like there's
We'll have
four.
to get some
of
new
them.
ones. There's how many?
Four.
4 movies in total? Oh, yeah, I've never seen it.
I think I might have seen the second one. It's called Damien Omen 2. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't remember anything about it. Here we have Blade.
Hmm.
I think we all like Blade.
Yeah.
Wesley
I remember the
Snipes
ranking
knocked
for
it
this
out of
one.
the park.
He sure did the Daywalker, bro.
It's a
Yeah.
Daywalker, bro.
My dad actually was a huge fan of that series, so that's what
Really?
got me
Mine
into it.
too.
Yeah, that's what got me into it. We watched the trilogy in theaters. I
The
think.
games were fun.
The games were amazing. Straight A tier.
I got the PS1 game just chilling in my trunk right now.
You show me that. Let me have
Yeah.
that.
You can have it.
Can I really?
Yeah, my dad gave it to me.
Dude, what?
Yeah.
Well, you keep it then. That's
Well,
pretty, that's
I
pretty
don't
cool.
have a PS1 though.
I
I
don't
don't
care.
have
It's
a way
pretty
to play
cool relic.
Yeah.
Was it your dad's or
Yeah.
it was his?
Yeah. He used to play games back in the day too.
Well,
He
then
don't
I'd
really
keep
play
that. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool relic.
That's why I still have it anyways. I just haven't got it in my trunk yet. But he just gave it to me. He cleaned out a lot of his stuff that he had in storage.
I would keep that then. That's pretty cool.
So I remember the ranking last night. What would y'all give it now?
I'm giving it an A.
Yeah.
A.
Yeah, I'm
Last
cool with
night
that.
it was an S.
We put that in S tier.
It's-
We was
it's
being a
aight.
little bit
Yeah.
generous.
I can
A.
agree with that.
But it's good.
Next is Creature from the Black Lagoon.
That's a S tier.
Yeah, that one is 100%
Iconic.
That's
S
one of the
tier.
most iconic movies of all time.
I've watched a few black and white movies, but very few, and that was one that I went on my way to
It's
watch.
good.
Yeah,
It
it's great.
holds up today.
100%.
The acting was great in it at the time. The special effects were cool. S tier.
Yeah, like I said, my favorite universe. I have to say.
Yeah, really
The
cool.
Creature is really sick.
Who'd you say your favorite was?
Invisible Man.
Invisible Man. Yeah. Right, I remember.
Next is Dusk Till Dawn.
We talked about that a little bit last night. I don't remember much about it. I remember it being a big deal when it came out, and I watched it for that.
I don't know
enjoyed
that
it.
I've seen it.
I remember the ending kind of, but the rest of it doesn't really stick out. So I think this is one of the ones that we're going to have to go mid.
Yeah, we can go with mid. The cinematography is, of course, amazing
good,
because it's
yeah,
Quentin
yeah.
Tarantino.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino. He does
Also, he has
good
his
on
weird
stuff.
foot shit with Salma Hayek in there because he has like a foot fetish and puts that in every movie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
We were talking about
there's a
this
scene.
last night.
So he's the director, writes the script, makes the scene where he gets to suck some toes, makes it Salma Hayek's toes.
Oh wait, he's in the movie itself. Why is he
Yeah.
directing it too?
Yeah.
And he sucks toes.
Yeah, and he also wrote the movie.
He sucks.
That's weird.
Yeah,
What was the Nickelodeon guy?
Dan Schneider.
Dan Schneider.
Schneider. That's a weird guy.
That's a
That sure is.
Yes.
Makes you uncomfortable. There's like a clip on YouTube, and it's like maybe like 4 minutes of
I
him
know
just
the
doing
exa-
stuff
yeah.
weird, underage.
Yep.
Really, really.
He's got some allegations.
I'm
A
sure
lot
he
of them.
does.
A lot of them. Next on here is Final Destination.
Not a horror movie, right? I mean,
No.
I could see people make an argument for it, but it's
It's
a
like
thriller.
an action thriller, I would
Yeah.
say.
The first one was iconic. It suffers from a lot of other stuff where they just wanted to keep getting the money. They wanted to keep pumping out sequels that really didn't need. But I actually know quite a few fans of that series too. Quite a few people enjoy it.
Yeah.
I know what you're going to say. Go ahead and say it.
No. I think the first one's the best one.
I've not seen too many of the sequels, but I watched the first one recently.
Kind of trash after the
Yeah.
roller coaster concept was pretty cool. on
There's
the
some cool
third one.
concepts in there. There is. I ain't going to knock
There's a
that.
lot of cool ways to die in it. Like
That's true. It's like 1,000 ways to die.
scared to death of like tanning beds because of those.
Yeah.
Or being behind trucks with logs.
Was the tan in bed scene in the original?
I think it was in like the third.
I might have watched.
I
I
don't
might have
fully
watched more of it
remember.
than I'm giving myself credit for. I remember the tan. in
They
bed
all
scene.
mesh together because they honestly could just be one long ass movie.
You're right. But B tier for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
I would say like horror adjacent, but not.
Just
I
basing
agree.
off of the fact that
B.
Now we have Hellraiser.
I can't talk about that. I know nothing about it. I know. Is it Pinhead again?
Yeah.
He's iconic.
He's iconic, but the movies aren't like the best.
No, they're a little strange. I mean, I like them.
I'm
The,
straight
the
up.
what are they called? What are the fucking Xenobots? Is that their name?
Is it?
I don't fuck.
I don't know.
I know. That's how much I know.
B.
Yeah.
B for the iconic.
Just for the icon part. If
But I
it
can't-
wasn't for that, it'd be
Xenobots,
probably.
I don't fucking know.
Can you give me a little rundown about the series again? Like what the actual concept is? Like why? Like why is it iconic? Like why? What does Pinhead do?
So there's like the laminate box. It's like a puzzle type thing, and if you fix it, it summons the alien that they're masochists. They like to inflict pain.
Why did that make me laugh?
Because it's actually it's a wild concept. It's like very
He's
sexual.
got pins in his head.
Yeah, it's a
But don't
very
call him a
sexual
pinhead.
concept. The whole movies
Yeah.
are. There's a lot of like
Interesting.
weird shit in there.
I'll check it out though. I mean, I feel like I have to if I'm going to use the word horror fan. I have to watch that movie for sure.
Next was I Know What You Did Last Summer.
I've never seen it.
I know what category we put it in last
Yeah,
night.
I do
and
too.
I think it needs to go there.
I think
again.
it needs to go right back there. Yeah,
We're
right
going right
in
here.
strong in mid.
Mid.
It's a cool concept, and I think it has a lot of sequels to one of those movies where they just kept pumping them out. But it's a cool concept to begin with.
I did like the first one. It was
Yeah.
fun, but
Yeah,
I mean, nothing special.
didn't they try to like do something weird with all the names of the sequels too?
I feel like I still know what you did last summer. I'll always know what you did last summer.
Yeah,
Shit
see,
like that.
And I'll say this: this is probably a hot take. The most memorable part of I Know What You Did Last Summer was when it was in Scary Movie, the comedy, the parody of it.
Yeah, that's the only reason. I
Or
know
like
anything
the
about
really
it.
stupid scene of what's that lady's name? Jennifer Love Hewitt
Yeah.
standing in this like street and doing a circle, yelling, "Come get me! Come
I
get me!"
don't know what you're talking about.
You need to check it out.
You should.
It's worth watching. The first one is, but
He's like sending them letters or something and like coming after each of them because of something they did last summer.
you,
I'm assuming it's the same concept as the first scary movie.
yeah, it really
Actually,
is.
yeah.
It
Yeah, I
really
forgot. I
is.
forgot the concept of the first scary movie. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
it is.
That's what the whole thing's based around.
Yeah.
There's some funny
There you go.
scenes because of that movie too. We'll talk more about that.
Yeah, it is on the list here.
Yeah, it's on the list. We'll talk more about scary movies in a second.
Next is Child's Play.
I know what you said about it.
It's okay. It's okay. It's cool, but it's okay.
There's a lot of fans of it too, and I get why. It's another iconic character. Right?
I'm telling you,
Tell us why it's just okay.
it's okay because you know if Orion had a dog that got up and come running at me, would I freak out? Hell yeah. but dude, just punk kick his ass away from you. It's a doll, and it's just one of him. And even bring Tiffany into the scene. Chuck their asses into the river. Bye.
I gotta say,
I mean,
It's like that old thing, like a snail coming to the door, but it takes forever. You throw it away and it just comes back, but it takes forever.
have you guys seen that other parody movie of Stan Helsing? Have you seen that?
Stan
Have you-
Helsing?
Stan Helsing.
Oh, Stan Helsing, yeah.
Have you seen
no,
that?
do I need
You've
to?
seen it?
Yes.
Dude, it's just another parody movie. Similar to Scary Movie.
is
That was
it
back
funny?
in the yeah. There's a scene that with Chucky in there. You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
don't you? I'm not going to say it, but we'll have to show you this scene. We might even put it in there for the audience. But there's a scene in there with Chucky that just cracks me up instantly. But listen, as far as Child's Play go, and the reason that I'm not a huge fan of it is when I'm thinking about Child's Play and Chucky in general. The only movie that I remember, like the actual plotline for, is The Seed of Chucky. And that was awful. It was terrible.
I mean, it's the seed of Chucky.
The name is bad. The whole entire movie's bad. Wasn't there a scene in that movie where they like pull down his pants or something and there's nothing there and they make a joke about it? Did that happen in that movie or am I thinking of something else? I could be way off on that, but I remember that in my mind. I'm pretty sure it happened with this kid. That movie was just
The
terrible.
original ones are pretty cool though.
Like the actual Child's Play. I just don't remember a whole lot about them. I'm sure I've seen them.
I'm gonna give him a solid B.
Okay, that's respectable.
He's an icon too.
Yeah,
In his own
exactly.
right,
I seen some Chucky's dressed up
for better or for worse.
this year for Halloween. You know, so yeah, I agree.
Next, we have It.
All right, it's good. I wouldn't mean to do that. That was an unintentional pun. It's solid. I'm not meaning to do that. I'm really not.
I'm sorry.
But listen, as far as the movie goes itself, where to begin? Obviously, the original. I know you said you weren't a fan of the original as much as you are the remake. The remake
No.
definitely a lot of stuff with it, and that's one of the first and second one both is ones that we went and watched at the theater. Me and Tiffany did. Really cool seeing them. I watched the first one, the original one, back home. My dad actually, and I know he said he watches it too. He actually is scared of clowns because of that movie, and there's just this really cool picture. I might have you pull that up too, for when you go back and edit it. Tim Curry just smoking a cigarette in the rain. I don't know why.
I've seen it.
Such a cool
I love that
picture. I
picture.
don't know what it is about it. But,
Love Tim
it's
Curry
great.
in general. I want to throw that in there. That man
What
was
is it?
great. Tim Curry.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Love
He's a good
it.
actor.
Everything he was in.
I agree with that.
But you know, as far as it goes as a franchise and as a whole, I think the movies deserve at least an S tier. I can see an argument made for S tier if you want to make it that.
No,
No.
I could see the argument made for B.
Yeah, I
tier.
could
Yeah,
too.
with the sequel and stuff,
Especially if you
know,
throw in like the TV series and all that.
a TV series. I didn't know
Yeah,
it had a TV
it was originally a miniseries before the movie. I think. I could be wrong.
I think the movie is the miniseries.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think didn't they like cut some stuff out of it or something
Yeah.
like that?
I'm pretty sure the movie is the
Okay.
miniseries.
Whenever you talk about it, you have to bring up
I could be wrong
Well,
about that though.
I could be completely wrong too. So
and you know, there's that.
Shame on you, Stephen King,
Yeah,
yeah.
for even thinking of such
What the
things that we
hell?
can't talk
What are you
That was
talking
awful.
about,
We're not gonna-
Steve?
everybody knows what we're talking about. Thank God it was omitted from the movies.
Thank God. Why
Yeah.
would it be in the movie?
Why was it in the book?
Stephen King is just such a weird guy if you look at his books. Like, obviously, we talked about a little bit of stuff earlier. He has some cool concepts in his books, but if you go back and read some of his stuff, he's a really weird
He's
guy.
one of the biggest horror icons of all time,
He
too.
is.
Though, in his own
He
right,
is.
for sure.
He deserves it, but there was a person that I'm a friend with on Facebook that posted a lot of his, like, out of context stuff from his book.
Mm.
He says some weird stuff.
Of course he does.
He says some
There's
very
a whole lot of
strange
racial
stuff.
slurs in the books.
Oh, that's rough. I didn't know about that either. That's rough. But
It depends on the book though, like the era it's set in. I mean,
Yeah.
he's not just doing it in like a
Gotcha.
modern day setting.
So it's. I mean, I hate to say in context.
yeah.
But
I mean,
I get what
I
you're
know how
saying.
you feel about that.
gotcha.
Yeah, I'm still not a fan of it, honestly.
No.
Yeah,
but,
no, same.
but with the It series and just the series by itself, I'd say it's at least an A. You feel more like a B?
No, I'm cool.
I can
Okay.
agree with that.
Okay, okay.
It's definitely not S tier though.
No, I think I'd say some people might make an argument for it, but no, I don't think so. I will give the first movie, the remake when it came out. I will say that
It's better than
it shook the world.
It did.
There was so many. I think that movie alone is the reason we had that clown scare.
I agree.
It has to be. There's no other reason unless it was just a bunch of people like planning stuff.
That
But
was so funny.
Yeah.
it was all over the media.
It was all over the place.
There was clowns around this area.
Yeah, I
just
saw
about-
one on a bicycle going down towards Breathitt County one time.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is. It's wild. I think a lot of those videos coming out were definitely staged.
Of course they
There was
were.
people chasing clowns into their the what's it called, tree line or
Have you ever watched that documentary about the like clown that you can hire to scare your children?
No.
Yeah, that's a thing, and he's scary as shit. I think it kind of blew up around that same time. I can't remember his name now, but he's in like New Jersey, and you can call him if your kids are being bad, and he'll break in through your window, scare the fuck out of them.
That's traumatizing.
Wild.
That's traumatizing.
Let me see what the documentary was
Yeah,
called.
Oh
but
my god,
While you're pulling that up too, but think
that's kind of crazy.
I think about the people that dressed up. You know, we always talk about icons being dressed up as. When that movie first came out, the first one's what I'm talking about, obviously. Even LeBron James dressed up as It the Clown.
I don't know that I've seen that.
Yeah, he did. He dressed up as It the Clown. There's actually a lot of people that did it. I know locally that did it too. It was just it was huge when it came out. When did the original come out? Do you know? It was definitely old, right? Like it was a warranted reboot. It was warranted for sure.
I think I got worked, bro. This is fake. They got me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a real movie. Check it out. They got me though. They did it really
Oh,
convincingly.
I see. It
I
happened.
think I don't know if I actually seen the movie now I'm looking at it, or if I just saw a YouTube video going over it.
It happened.
Dang.
I've been taking.
But it's called Wrinkles the Clown. Definitely recommend it.
No, that you said wrinkles. That kind of resonates. I feel like I've definitely heard.
Okay.
Not sponsored.
Or Rockstar.
Next is Insidious.
Where to begin? There was no movie that comes to mind that kind of, because if you think about modern horror movies, big, I think Insidious kind of sparked a new wave, current gen.
Did.
And that first movie, everybody I know watched it. Even people that didn't really watch it. Good acting. But I think there's 4 movies in the series. I gotta be honest. Or if I have, I don't even remember. It means they didn't really capture the ghost. I guess makeup was cool. I was like Darth Maul. Gave those kind of vibes off. Really like the first movie. Kind of one of those movies. This is one of those franchises. Hard to, we don't really know the exact kind of impact it's gonna have later. But I do think that first movie was definitely got a lot of respect warranted, but the sequel.
I'm gonna say I'm still giving it an A tier.
Yeah,
Me too.
I can
agree with that.
see that because of the first movie.
Mhm.
Really great.
Some more Stephen King with Carrie.
I've only seen the reboot. I've never seen the original movie.
Both are good.
Reboot was awesome. I enjoyed it. It was one of those movies. It didn't really scare me, obviously,
No,
but it was a cool
it was
concept.
cool.
Interesting, fresh.
A little random, but I like the Ice Nine Kills song about it better than I do any of the movies.
I need to check out more.
They're
Especially
really good.
see 'em
Really
live.
good.
Yeah, we're going to see them. So, B.
Yeah.
All the way.
I can agree with that too. The reboot was great.
Next is Paranormal Activity, which we're having some of around these parts, you know.
Had to roll my eyes. Okay. Talking modern horror again. This is a more modern series. The first one, so iconic, so good.
Does it hold up?
It doesn't hold up the way it
No, it
does.
does
And
not.
I think it would had there not been so many sequels. I think if they would have left it alone, that would be something that we would be talking about like we are in Insidious. This is one of those instances where we're talking the sequels really diminish what the first movie set out to accomplish. Takes it away because it was a cool concept when it came out. It was fresh. It was new. It's something we hadn't really ever seen before. That kind of style cinematography. But the thing is that they just kind of repeated the same movie. Didn't change anything about it. For who God knows how long they went on with this. I lost interest after the second movie.
Yeah.
Second movie. I don't think I ever watched more than the second.
I don't
Original
think I
sequel.
watched any of them after the first
Too
one.
many of them. Terrible.
They don't get any better, do
No,
they?
gotta
Everybody
be.
says like usually the response I see on Facebook and stuff when a new one comes out, and I don't even know if they still make it or not. But I remember getting on Facebook and the reception was, "Why did I watch this?"
Yeah.
That was
They just
always
went
the question. Even though that first movie was great at the time, and I really enjoyed it when I first watched it, it belongs in D tier,
Yeah.
maybe even F. I
So-
can see an
yeah,
argument
so-
being that bottom barrel horror.
What I was gonna say is like with Halloween, the strength of the name, like the name Paranormal Activity, that's an iconic name, and just the idea of what happened with the movies. But it is a strong F movie. Those are terrible.
I can see the argument made for F, and here's another reason behind that real quick. Up until you said its name just then, I forgot about it. We talked about this last night, and I completely forgot about it existing. It is so forgettable.
Honestly, I see the argument for F, but I think the first one was kind of so like mind blowing.
It was
I'm
good.
gonna give it a D.
I could see an argument made for D, and I just think the sequel destroyed it. But
Yeah.
I'm cool putting it in D tier.
I can go with D just off the strength of the first movie. It
great,
was
great.
good.
It was different. It was fresh.
Because it kind of shook the world there.
It did. We talked about those advertisements last night too, real quick. How they over dramatized them so bad to the point where the audience is screaming and getting up and leaving, and they're throwing popcorn all over the
There
place.
was no moments like that.
No.
No. Occasionally, I might have been like,
Like the moment where she's standing over the staring at him.
it was, and I didn't throw my pop.
No,
I didn't turn the movie
definitely
off.
not.
I didn't walk out of the theater. I think I did watch that. That was back when Hillside and Pop.
Popping.
Was that at Fugits? Do you remember?
No,
I have a hard
don't
time remember. The only movie that I remember the difference in where it was casted at. And this is funny, I promise. I know. Fact. Shrek 2 played it. I'm 100%
All right.
positive
Okay.
because I just remember going there and watching. I don't know why. Where are we gonna rank Shrek at? This year? When are we gonna get to
S
Shrek?
tier.
S tier,
S tier.
easy.
That's above S tier.
It was good.
I
It's
love
F
Shrek.
tier.
Stop it right now.
What?
You're joking.
Ooh.
You
What?
don't like Shrek, the original?
Ooh. Dog shit.
Oh my god. I thought I knew you.
No, it's 100% S.
Okay,
Top
you
to
had me in the
bottom.
first half.
Yeah, I'd be in the first half. My heart was breaking. I was getting sad over
I
here.
don't much care for the sequels though. I
That's-
like the
I
second.
like
I like the
them.
second.
Yeah, the second one's really good.
Was the last movie that we watched Hillside, because you went with us, was it Halloween 2018 one?
Yeah.
I think that was the last time that Hillside closed shortly after. I think it might have been-
That was also the last one I saw.
You were in the theater with someone. Did you go watch it opening night?
Yeah.
But he was in the theater with. That's kind of crazy to think about. Was that the one that we watched? I went. Did that Annabelle movie come out before or after Halloween? Do you remember off the top of your head? 'Cause I remember that being kind of like a later movie that I watched. The reason that I remember it is because
Creation?
it might have been. It
Because
was one of those.
So before, because I also watched that at Hillside.
Yeah, I remember opening night. Me and Tiffany went to watch, it, and I have never seen a theater pop. I thought Halloween was crazy. The tickets were already sold out, and there was still a line of 50.
The
I'll throw
worst,
something out there. That movie was terrible.
the worst line I've ever seen, and it was at Hillside. I was in like 7th or 8th grade. And it was bad. Like cars were all the way down there. Like didn't know tickets was sold out. Opening night, we went to go watch Friday the 13th, and it was sold out. We went up there at 9:15, and they told us that the 9:15 tickets sold out at like 3:00.
I didn't watch it opening night, but I
And
did go in the theater and watch that
It
one.
was insane. So you know what we watched instead? My Bloody Valentine, and I gotta
Oh.
say that was it was amazing.
Why is that on here? I know
I
it's
don't
on
know.
there. That's a great series.
I think it's just where it was like a remake and then the original movie, but it's so good.
Oh, there was no sequels.
I
I
don't.
think it's just the original.
Yeah, I'm pretty
and
sure
then
it's
the
just
They're
the
both
original
good, though.
remake.
I like those movies a lot.
Also, a good Ice Nine Kills song.
But yeah, Hillside. I miss you, Hillside. If people that run Hillside are watching this, come back. We miss you. We don't have anything here. We need something that we can do on a Saturday night. Theater would be so
That
cool.
would be amazing. That one.
While we're talking about it, if you had to pick one, you get your Hillside.
It was always Fugits.
Yeah, I like the floor better.
I
It's
get the
better.
argument for, but there was something about Hillside when I went there with my parents and my family, and we would go watch a kids movie or something. There was something about the atmosphere.
When I was younger, it was always Fugits, but as I got older and where I was going to myself, it was always Hillside.
I watched a Silent Hill movie there with one of my friends a long time ago. Too. It was a random Silent Hill movie. We was just looking for something.
Well, another thing too, when you went to, especially if you went on a week, that was the biggest factor. If you went on a weekend, probably Hillside because it was just Hillside. When you went to Fugits on the weekend, you had all the
That was like the
the
hangout spot when we
hooligans
were
there
younger.
that was hanging out at the bowling alley and skating rink at the same time. So everybody was out there,
Yeah.
drinking beers, smoking, and you was wondering if somebody was gonna,
Yeah,
it was a totally different environment.
it was just crumbled, man. I have so many memories. That's really all that we have here. Think about it.
Yeah, for real.
We had the bowling alley. I didn't even start bowling until I was older. When I first got into bowling, that's tragic. But
Insurance money speaks volumes, bud.
it does. But I enjoyed it a lot. I like skate. I never really liked skating much, but I always liked having the parties there and hanging out. We have air balance now. It's where most kids' parties are, it seems like. But back in the day, it was at the skating rink where we went for a lot of parties. We don't have, we talk about Hazard not having anything. We really don't have anything.
No. Just restaurants now, really.
Walmart.
Yeah.
Made a status about that too the other day. It's true. When we're bored, we go hang out at Walmart. What we do.
That's bad.
Bad. That's it. That's all we have.
The park is terrible. They've not changed the skate park in years.
Yeah.
It's like,
We got that splash pad, but I clown on that too. I mean, I'm glad that they're trying to work on stuff for the community because it's much needed. But go look at Jackson. Why can't we got something like that? Know what I mean?
Looks like they're only really working on like downtown,
Yeah.
not like the whole community as a whole.
We could use something, just anything at this point. Bowling, laser tag, anything, and it's going to pop off. I'd
Yeah.
go. I would drop money. My family would go. Not every weekend, sure, but opening night and stuff, yeah, I'd be there for that stuff. I like my community. I want to see my community do well, but there's just no kind of attractions here right now.
I
Y'all
don't
remember
think
when-
I don't think there ever will be either.
Nah.
Because it'll pop
Yeah.
off at first, but is it going to maintain enough to stay in business?
I've talked to a lot of business owners around here. That's how it always is.
It
When
is,
you
yeah.
open up, I remember going back to Starbucks, at Food City when they brought Starbucks. That was a huge deal. People were talking about it. I went opening day, and I think there was such a long wait time. I probably waited 45 minutes for a cup of coffee. I go in there now, there's nobody.
Remember
there
the
might
line
be a few
when
people in front of me.
Fazoli's came in?
Zoe's the same
and
way.
Steak and
Steak and
Shake.
Shake,
Oh,
same
we
way.
got a funny story about the Steak and Shake one.
What's that? Let's hear the story. Let's hear it.
I have been informed not to speak of the Steak and Shake incident.
Oh, okay.
I can tell by that face he had said something he shouldn't have.
Yeah. What it sounds like. But,
I'll
Y'all
tell
wanna
you
know about
guys later.
Okay.
okay.
Sorry to blue ball you like that, but
Blackball you mean?
Blackball.
sorry.
I wish I'd got to see that. I'm pretty sure that was after the mic cut out. So
Yeah.
they'll never see that clip, but that was great.
That was. We could hear ourselves talking, but he's cutting. That was the funniest part about it was what you said though.
Yeah.
But wow, we got derailed there, but it was
Yeah.
good.
We are doing a tier list. Jaws. We're going to need a bigger boat.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
We're gonna need some better movies.
Listen, the original movie's great.
The
Didn't he say
ride.
something about it just being a shark last night to like get on land?
Yeah,
It's literally a damn shark. Just get on land.
I get it, but it's a cool concept. I like the first movie.
The
a lot.
ride of it that I rode at Universal Studios in Florida blows the movie out of the water. I'll say that. I mean, riding out in the water,
Seen
big
videos of that
animatronic
ride.
I've never
sharks
been to
come up at you.
Universal.
Well,
What's it
Never been
like?
there.
amazing. You need to get out and see life.
Yeah, I don't get out much.
The touch grass.
Can we talk about the insult? Take a hike.
Take a hike.
That is a sleeper insult. Tell somebody to take a hike. You're basically telling them to go outside and look at nature.
Fair.
You
Like,
say that like it's a bad thing, though.
it's a good way to burn somebody. Get off the internet, go outside and look at nature.
Let's go hiking in those trails there at in the park.
Dude.
Those are legit.
I've been on them before.
Have you? Those are legit.
So cool story about the trails. Not the ones at the park, the ones at the dam.
I remember.
Parsford. Remember that story?
No, I remember we used to go to them all the
We
time.
used to go to them, and I've talked about this story several times, but I got to bring it up now that we're talking about trails. Late night, I was 17 years old, smoking cigarettes, being sneaky.
I remember this.
It's crazy. It's
I
a
remember
crazy
this.
story. I was smoking cigarettes, being sneaky, and my way of being sneaky, obviously the smell is going to stick to your clothes, but in my mind, if I didn't do it at my house, I was safe. So I would always go up to the dam because I live so close to the Carsford Dam. And so one night, it was probably about 10:30. It was pretty late. It was dark out. I go up to smoke my cigarette. I've done it so many times. But I'd go up there and smoke, like I said. So I'll go up there and I'm driving to the area where I'm going to park at. And there's these two cars in pitch black. There's no street lamps on or anything. It's just pitch black, but I see two cars. And the lights are off. So I'm like, wonder why somebody's up here so late. That was my first thought. Why is there just two people hanging out up here? But never mind that. I go park my truck at the time, and I go down the trail about halfway just to smoke. I walk down the steps. There's steps there. Because in my mind, and the reason that I did this is kind of funny, I never wanted to be out in public smoking either.
Mm.
And you remember when we first smoked a cigarette together, I was like, all right, here's the deal. We got to go somewhere where nobody can see us. We actually smoked our first cigarette together
In
over
the
there at the little,
barn thing.
Yeah, on the trail at the Perry County Park.
Yeah.
that's how sketchy
And
I
it's
was
so
about it.
funny because I told you at the time, like, we would go up in the hills to smoke a cigarette. And I was like, dude, if we ever was to get caught, they're going to think we're up here, like, smoking pot.
Yeah.
Because, and they're not going to believe us when we're like, it's just a cigarette.
I was so paranoid about getting in trouble with my parents. Well, that's the lengths that I went to for my nicotine. So I'm out here in pitch black, 10:30 at night, and basically in the middle of the woods. And I noticed headlights. You can kind of see the road up there. And I noticed headlights pull up there beside my truck, right beside of it. And my first thought was, somebody that I know. My cigarette out. I immediately walked back up. and it wasn't a car that I recognized. As soon as I walked up to the hill, the guy had his interior lights on. It was an old, never seen him before. He smiled at me very creepy. He had like a lot of missing. That image.
Mm.
He's smiling at me. He kind of like motioned me to walk over to him. Oh,
Like Crazy
I got
Fred
back
from
in my
the Friday
truck.
movies.
Got back in my truck, and I'm still feeling for that cigarette. I only got a few. I was like, that's weird. So what do? Instead of doing the logical thing and not smoking a cigarette, going home like I should have, I go down to the spillway. And same situation. There's some more lights down there. But I get out of my car and start smoking. Probably about 30 seconds later, that car driver. So I was like, that's weird. At first, I didn't think anything kind of doing.
Mm.
But again, pulls up right beside my vehicle. At that point, it finally registered.
Mm.
It took that long for me to register. So again, I can blame it on being young or just stupid or a combination of two. I still wasn't satisfied. My heart was kind of beating, nervous. Felt like I'd done something. I don't know what I did. I was about to get in trouble. So I thought maybe I'll just go really fast over here and pull off the side of the road, get away from where I pulled off at. There's a little place where parking. It's really dark. That was kind of my plan. Park my truck there. Then I just get out and what is weird? Pulls by me. I think he thought that.
That's weird as fuck.
What was going on with that? I can't tell you. I don't have an explanation. The only thing that makes sense in my head when I've talked to friends about stuff is I think that I interrupted.
Yeah.
There were two cars there. I think that must have been a pretty serious deal going kind of follow you. My question is, what would he have done if what?
Your description reminded me of like Crazy Fred from the Friday movies.
I love the Friday movies. There was one other story before we get back to the really. I've shared numerous times. Probably. I did. There was a guy that was fought over me. I found this out from one of our teachers in Perry Central. I used to go up there and play basketball, but I lived right by there. That's where I went to hoop. Play basketball quite often. And I went up there one day and I was playing. Everything was. And there was this guy that was just watching me. And it was an older gentleman. He was just kind of checking me out. And I didn't think anything of it. I quit playing. I got tired. I was getting ready to go home. Got on my truck, and he pulled up immediately. He motioned me to roll my window down. So, of course, I did. I talked to random people all the time. I rolled my window down. I'm like, hey, what's up? He was like, I was watching you play. You're pretty good. Like, well, thank you. Appreciate that. We just made some side chatter. I was like, well, I better get home. And he said, before you go, do you have a girlfriend?
Mm.
I was like, well, yeah, I do. And he said, why ain't she up here with you? What are you doing? And I said, staying home. Whatever the reason was. I think I was 16. He said, well, can I ask you a question? Sure. Do you really like women? I said, yeah. He said, be interested in your friend? He said, I gotta be honest with you. I sure. I left. I rolled up my window and left. True story.
What do you do in that situation?
It was the most awkward encounter I've ever had. It was really uneasy. It unnerved me a little bit. There's some sketchy stuff that happens up the dam.
Yeah.
All right.
The way he said that makes it sound like he has a hatred of women.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah, like not even as in like, he's not interested in women. It made it sound like he just really doesn't like women.
It was just creepy start to finish. The whole entire thing was just strange.
Felicia done him dirty back in the day.
Felicia.
She had to have.
What's that saying?
Grudge.
What's that saying with Felicia's name? Friday?
Bye,
Bye, Felicia. That's
bye,
it.
Felicia.
Is that from Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah, bye, Felicia.
When she's like trying to get some weed or something off of him.
Classic. Friday's a great series. Love it. I watched all three. What we got next?
What do we rate Jaws? I don't think we actually
Didn't
did.
even rank it.
No, we got
What was
we got
talking
lost.
about? What happened?
I don't know how we got where we ended up, but I liked it.
We went on a
Oh
journey.
my god.
Um,
B. If you say A, I'm gonna be mad.
I was gonna say A, but I'll let it go.
B works. I was thinking kind of mid, to be fair.
We don't really
Oh.
use mid a lot tonight.
Nah, you see, I was thinking, welcome to Tales from 606. How mid are you?
How mid are you?
That's pretty mid too.
How
pretty-
mad?
he's getting in.
How mad are you?
He's getting in.
How tough? How
Big old
tough am I? Dude, that's a pretty fun. That's a funny meme. How mad am I? You know, you talking about the SpongeBob
Yeah.
episode?
How mid am I?
How mad am I?
Mid as hell.
I'll have
Like
you know, I
Wheaties for
recorded a
breakfast.
3-hour podcast that didn't have audio for half.
Wait, yeah, you gotta throw it in there. So did I, or whatever it was that the other guy says. But I didn't record the audio. That's how you do it right there. Go right ahead.
Next is Wrong Turn.
Jesus, can we get a count on the sequels real quick before I say anything at all?
Too many.
I'm gonna get a check on the fantasy.
Oh God, he's into it. Now, is that what you've been looking at this whole time?
No, I ain't even looked over here.
All right.
That's cap because that happened earlier in the episode.
Yeah.
Let's go.
What's the score looking like?
Both of our boys at their at half. You got 32 from him. I got 29. I am up by 31.
Ain't no way I can win. Done deal.
Like there's 6
Oh.
in the original series and then 1 remake from 2021. Or
I kind of want to see
reboot,
this
I
remake.
guess.
Interested?
Are we talking about Wrong Turn?
Yeah.
Literally just use Google Maps.
GPS.
AF tier.
No. Stop.
MapQuest.
Stop. It doesn't belong in F tier. Here's the thing.
We went through some Wrong Turn territory when we went to Blue Ridge.
That's a fact. That whole festival was in Wrong Turn territory.
Wrong
almost.
Turn.
That's actually a really good
You have to
point.
go
I
right
think the
through it.
festival was the Wrong Turn.
Yeah.
Wrong
It took
Turn-
a wrong turn.
Wrong Turn deserves at least a D. I can see an argument for mid. It's cool. It's a cool concept.
It is.
I could go D. I
Don't
feel
look
D.
at me like that.
I feel strong D.
Yeah. I'm sure you do.
I'm sure you do, buddy. Thanks for sharing.
Anytime. I'm here all week.
You guys laughing is making me laugh.
If he wouldn't have laughed, I'd have held that in.
went on
as
my
soon
head
as I
first.
said it, I was about to laugh, and then I was good till he did.
When you said strong D, I was just thinking like Anthony Fantano.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Yeah, like a
that's,
lot
that's where I was
strong,
going. But
yes.
he goes with numbers.
Yeah. Feel like a lot 7.
Yeah, that's a
What
lot
about
7 or
the
a strong
funniest
D.
thing- The funniest thing is Drake messaging Anthony
Life is a
Fantano.
lot 1 or
Your life
something.
is a lot 1. That's what Drake said to a guy on YouTube. How insecure is Drake? What if Drake comes for us because we brought him up?
I told you Drake's the type of guy to bowl at the lane that's got the guardrails on the side.
Those Drake memes used to kill me. I used to
They make
repost
me
them on
laugh
Facebook
so
all the
hard.
time. He's gonna message us.
Drake smokes lights.
Ultralights. Ultralights. He gets the marble with the wall filters too. No, not lights. He smokes Virginia Slims.
It has one of those tips to it too, so he doesn't have to
The
touch the
filters.
filter. Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. What would you do if he really messaged us?
I would laugh so hard.
Might need to get like a fake screenshot or something from him messaging us.
Photoshop a tweet.
Yeah, there you go.
So the next one on here is The Ring.
Japanese horror icon. I love it. One of those movies that I grew up watching. Was there 3? I think we found out last night there was 3 in fact. And I feel like it's a great movie. I feel like it's a good series.
It is, but I'm gonna hit him with a strong
Don't.
B.
Okay. Thought you gonna say mid.
God damn, never mind. There's a 1, 2.
There's 6 Ring movies?
Apparently one came out in 2022, but it's not American.
Oh, that explains a lot
That's
of
probably
it.
a lot better then.
Yeah.
It looks like the last 2 have been just fully Japanese.
Well, all right.
There's
I'm
comedy.
still cool with B.
B.
I like it.
Next we have Saw.
Oh God. I wish we still had my rant about the Saw movies. We kind of do because you hear my audio.
I can make a clip of that.
All right. Here's the thing. I'm gonna say it again. For everybody that isn't gonna see that. I recently rewatched the first movie and it really resonated. So strong. Action phenomenal. Twists, turns. The kill scenes were amazing. Ahead of its time. it was just a great all around horror movie. It was great. It was. But when you start making like annual movies, or I can't remember how.
I looked over and he had his glasses down.
Oh.
I'm trying to get this man to break character. My bad.
Break,
I'm
right
not breaking
before the-
kayfabe out here.
Hmm?
Not breaking kayfabe. No. Fortunately.
But with the Saw movies, the first one was great. Probably one of the best modern horror movies we got of all time. And then the thing is that the sequels water it down to it got Assassin's Creed. Creed or Creed. I don't know. Either way, it became the Assassin's Creed of movies. I'm not going to say the Assassin's Creed of games this time because it's not a game. But it
Actually, they
became-
do have games. There was one on 360.
Oh yeah, was it good? Though?
From what I remember, wasn't it kind of okay?
What?
The Saw game on 360.
Yeah, the both of them.
I thought so.
Oh, there's two. Of
I
them?
didn't know there was two.
I
It's
bought
a
the
really
first-
good puzzle game.
I thought it was good.
That's
I couldn't
interesting.
really
I'll have to
remember.
check it out. But yeah,
I have it.
here's the thing though. It's got me being somebody that rewatched the movie and I'm kind of gushing about it. Great movie. Series is going to mid.
Going to mid. Okay.
It's mid.
Series is going F.
Oh,
Ooh.
I don't know
Oh,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Some of the sequels are okay. Start losing me after the third one.
Mid.
I've only ever watched the first one.
Mid tier.
You only ever seen the first one?
I'm not a big fan of like gore.
It's very gory. Did you enjoy the first one though?
I did. It was
I don't know
alright.
why he's friends with me. You ought to see some of the Reddit videos I send him sometimes.
No comment. He just
It's different.
very. It sounds like.
It's different.
Do you use Reddit?
Yeah, sometimes.
I'll start sending them to you too.
Okay.
Okay.
Add me on that distro.
All right.
What we got next?
AVP.
Oh yeah. You see, I can't. comment.
AVP is solid A.
I can't talk about it. I
I
take
agree
you at
with
face
that.
value.
I like that. That opinion. I was thinking like B, but A will work with me.
I'm cool with what
You
you guys
think
give.
B? I might think B.
Well, what do you think?
Let's put it in B.
Let's put it
Here's some
B.
discussion about it here.
B is the new mid, apparently.
There's no discussion to be had.
Why do you put it in A tier? What's so good about it? Your perspective.
Take two damn good franchises and you put them together
And don't make it complete shit.
and don't make it complete shit. Voila.
Is there a couple of sequels from that if I remember
There's
right? Or-
two, I
There's
think.
two,
right?
yeah. Okay then. All right. I'm cool with that. Either way you guys want to go with. I've never seen them. I can't really comment on them.
Next is the Amityville Horror.
Jesus, you guys shocked my mind last night with how many Amityville horror movies there are. I thought there was
So
two. I
many.
thought there was two of them. That's all that I've seen was the original and the reboot in the early 2000s. And there's a lot to say about those movies by themselves too. I mean, the dog scene, the reboot as a kid destroyed me. It broke my heart. And that movie actually kind of scared me a bit as a kid too, because I think I was 7 years old when it came out. And
Does
I
the
remember
dog
watching
die in the reboot?
it. Yeah,
That didn't happen in real life.
it
I'll
happened.
go ahead and let you know that.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
actually die in real life.
Yeah, exactly. It was just I think the actual scene, I could be wrong on it because it was, again, I was 7 when I first watched it. But I think it happens off scene too. Like you don't actually see it die. You hear some crying, basically. I just don't like animals.
No.
Did I
I think
specify
everybody
how
agrees
many
with that.
movies exactly there were?
Did I knew there was a lot. How many are we working with?
16.
16 Amityville horror movies, and I've seen 2.
So in 2016, 2 came out, and then in 2017, 2 came out. They're putting out
How
like
does
2 a
that
year.
work? That's more Assassin's Creed than Assassin's Creed.
yeah.
Wow.
I've never 2 in 2 years. That instantly negates everything that I feel about the originals.
So yeah,
It's mid.
in 2 years, that was 4
It's
movies.
mid.
That's
mid.
wild.
Definitely, it's the definition of good.
Mid.
Next, we have the Blair Witch Project.
We had a lot to say about that. Because I feel like that original movie that came out, what it was at the time, is iconic.
It is, but it's not S tier, so you go ahead.
I'm
and
not
go
saying
on
it's
there.
S tier. I think
It's A tier.
we put it in mid tier.
We did.
Yeah,
think
because of the
so.
cinematography being so shaky and making everyone so
Yeah, that was a
sick.
big part of it. You know, the lost footage is a cool concept, but that is another part of it. Same thing with Cloverfield.
Yeah, the ending also took it down.
Yeah, that was another thing we talked about. So there was like 6 different endings.
Yeah, you
I've
can
only ever
find
seen the.
Really? Have you seen any of them?
What is it?
The different endings.
No, I didn't know there was.
Yeah, I didn't
Get
know.
on
there was-
YouTube. You can find like a big compilation of
Yeah.
it.
Check it out. But I remember I went. It's not something I watched when it came out. Obviously, did that come out in early 2000s?
No, I thought it was late 90s.
Might have been late 90s.
I can't fully remember. I think
The
it was
reason
late 90s,
I think
early
the reason I
2000s.
think it was the late 90s is because it was referencing Scary Movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
And that
was.
come out in the late
Sure.
90s.
That's a fair point because it was referenced.
I feel like it might have been 2001, but
I don't think it's 2001.
All right, let's find it. Pull that up.
99.
Wow, hit on the head. He said late 90s, and that was
Oh,
definitely late
boy.
90s.
He got that dog in him.
He does have that dog in
Why
him.
is
don't
she
he?
shaking her head at me?
You didn't really like it?
I can kind of see that. With the promotion that it had, I could see that.
Is it true that people really thought that it was real? That's cool though.
I mean, yeah, like I said, people really thought that people died and stuff. They like had fake funerals and everything, didn't they?
He
Like,
kind of based
insane.
doing that off the director from I think it was Cannibal Holocaust. Like,
Oh, yeah.
they really thought that the people in that movie died too, and it really worked for them.
Yeah.
Kind of back in the day.
So I guess kind of A tier because really it's not something I've ever wanted to go back and rewatch again.
I'll even say mid if you want to.
I can go mid.
Yeah, I can too. I liked it for what it was. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the 2 hours, but it's not something I'm dying to read.
Texas Chainsaw.
Ooh,
Ooh.
that first movie.
That first movie's a S tier by itself.
Yeah, easy.
There's no sense in just arguing about it.
It's like I said previously. It's probably my favorite. The atmosphere's great. The low production quality and the timing when it came out made you feel like you wouldn't watching it through a screen. It made you feel like you were out in the field observing stuff that really happened in real time. And got the dark aurora behind it. Lighting was good. The gore that they used at the time, the special effects, mind blowing. Did I like the sequel? I'll be honest and say no.
Yeah,
Oh.
because I'm not a big fan of most of them.
I don't like what they were going for.
I will say though, the cover is it the second or third one that they did the break? Y'all remember?
I'd say it was probably the third.
I think
if
it's the
had to
third
guess.
one. I love that
Third
cover.
one was third one.
Third
was
one's a comedy movie.
Why?
I don't know.
People love it too. It gets a lot of like love.
I mean, you know what? I can see why. But as far as if we're just basing off the first movie or even really the second movie for that
Yeah.
matter, it's such an oddball,
It's strange.
curveball. Yeah,
And is that the one that's like he's like in love with one of the people too?
is it?
Is that the one? I
Oh,
can't
it was
remember.
two. That was
Was two the one that is there like a love? There's a love story in one of the OGs too. He falls in love with one of the girls. It's one of the big plot points of the movie. And he's doing some weird stuff with his chainsaw. He's like rubbing it on her. It's really.
I remember the one you're talking about, but I
Ghosting.
don't remember which one it is.
It's the second or third one. I'm thinking
Okay.
third. But yeah, the sequels were just so bad. It's like, why take this gem of a movie and do that? But we also had some really cool remakes and some really bad remakes. Like the 2003 one comes to mind. That's one that I could rewatch anytime. It's a banging series. So the question is, I guess, is that S tier? Or does the sequels damage it to bring it down to A tier?
It might be A tier. I might have jumped the gun. The first
think
one's
so.
just such a good movie, man.
The first one's my favorite horror movie of all time. So for that, I can make an argument for S tier. But yeah, if we're being fair and really looking at the franchise as a whole, then yeah, it probably should be an A tier, honestly.
I'll agree with. Next we have The Conjuring.
Great.
A tier all the way.
It's a great.
I would say
modern horror.
S until the last movie. Like The Devil Made Me Do It. Bad.
I can't
Fell
remember.
asleep watching it.
I can't remember a whole lot about the. I can't remember a whole lot about the sequels, but I remember the first one that came out. It was a great movie.
Great
The definition of modern horror. It kind of jumped.
definition.
It kind of kickstarted the modern horror movies we have. Not right. For example, I think Annabelle's a spinoff.
Mhm.
Aren't they? They were okay. They were watchable. I think was there 2 Annabelle movies?
I
one
think
just
there was
called
one,
Annabelle?
2, and then Creation. And
Creation's
then,
the
I
one
think
I'm
there's
thinking
even more now. Could be wrong.
I'm cool with the spinoff movie. The first one, maybe. I remember it being pretty solid. I think we wouldn't there and watch that. I was saying, but
Okay, so actually Creation is 2. So it's Annabelle,
Okay.
Creation, and
gotcha. So first one as a spinoff doesn't harm it. I really liked how they just had Annabelle briefly shown in that. That would have been cool if they just let that alone.
So there's a specific scene in the second one that makes me just hate them because they're
Yeah.
just terrible. So like, I liked it up until that at a certain point, and then the girl turns around with the demon voice and says, "I want your soul," and it completely took me out of it. I was laughing in the middle of the theater. So it just
Listen,
took all the horror out of it.
you triggered a memory with that, and not because of that particular scene, but and you guys might not have even seen it, and it's going to be really stupid. It's going to make me look stupid if I don't remember. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I think it might have been The Conjuring actually, where there's a specific scene where someone's like staring at a TV, like an old guy's face comes on real fast, and he goes, "My house."
Yes, it's I think it is the first one because they're going over the girl that's possessed by like that old dude.
Yeah,
I think it's either the first. Yeah, I think it's.
that was awful. That was
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah.
Me and Tiffany had a blast with that. I don't know if it was the first one or not. I can't remember. I know me and Tiffany was watching it, We literally paused the movie and just started laughing. I don't know. I guess I see what they were going for. The way he says "my house," if you could play that during this part, that would be hilarious. Because it's so silly. That's the best way to describe it. But where are we putting The Conjuring? A tier? Yeah, A tier is great series.
The next one is.
S tier.
I know you were gonna say it, and I agree.
Have you ever watched it?
Yeah,
I've not seen the sequel.
not as good.
Not as good.
But it's still not a bad movie.
No, that first one.
The first
Anything
one-
Alfred Hitchcock ever did was fucking
Yeah.
spectacular.
If I go back, me being in this generation, this timeline, this year, if I go back to watch a movie in black and white, it's a damn good movie.
Yeah,
It's got a legacy. Pretty sure Black Lagoon's another one.
Mhm.
So yeah, S tier's well warranted here.
Next we have Scream.
I can't really say much about Scream. I feel like, this kind of was one of our hot debated moments last night when we had the audio. I feel like Scream's forgettable.
The first one's one of the best.
The first
slasher
movie is
movies
an
of all
S.
time.
I
The
think it
first
might be
one's an
the
S.
best
I can't
because
even,
it perfectly parodies all the parts of it,
I've seen
while at the same time not making fun of the genre.
it probably went over my head when I watched it. Honestly, I think it probably
And
did because
it's just so cool because as the series goes on, it's literally a universe within
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah,
and
like
it
the
just-
stab movies. I watched a full retrospective the other day. That was like 40 minutes long of just the stab movies inside the movie.
I think I missed
it's
something
a
when I
world
watched them.
inside of itself.
Yeah.
You need to go back and watch.
I think I will.
every
That's
one
one
of
that
them
I'll
in
revisit.
order,
Yeah.
and you would be. If it's not an S, it's an A.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with it being an S.
I agree.
I'll let you guys
Even
take
the
reins
newest
on
one,
it.
what do you think of it?
I liked it.
I did too. I liked it a
I
lot.
liked it.
I seen-
I liked it a lot.
I seen.
Me and Whitney had a blast with it, but
Yeah.
everybody I talked to did not
No,
like
I loved it.
I did
I
too.
watched it like 3 times.
I liked it. Good movie.
I seen the first 3, and I just for some reason I just can't really remember anything about
The
them.
fourth one was killer.
Yeah.
Did not expect the killer in the fourth one.
I have to rewatch it, and I will. I'll give an update when we come back and film next time, and I'll give an update on it.
Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich's performance in the first one, both of them, especially Matthew Lillard.
Matthew Lillard played in that movie.
Yeah, he was Stu Macher.
Well, see,
Yes, he's
when I hear Matthew Lillard, I instantly think of the Shaggy
Of
memes.
course, we all
Yeah.
do.
Those are great. I like those.
Yeah, he
It's
was
crazy.
the
It's-
second Ghostface in the original.
It's crazy.
He is so good. He has such range.
Now, with Scary Movie, because I just remember a lot of stuff about those. I don't know why. I think it's because I watch them so often.
All right.
Isn't that kind of similar? Is the plot point pretty much similar to that? Pretty much the premise of the movie? Where
There's one
it's
of
like,
them that does it.
What?
Isn't there one of them that does it?
Oh.
Like with the "What's Up" scene in it.
Mm. Yeah.
okay.
I don't remember which
That's
one
why,
it is.
That's why Ghostface is the killer in the first Scary Movie.
Interesting.
Next would be The Purge.
I like them.
I like.
I'm a
him
fan. I'm a fan of
Or
I
them.
think
like
there's a little
A
too
tier,
many
though.
of them though.
There's 5 in total, you said, right?
Yeah, somewhere around in the TV series.
Are they A or are they B? That's the.
I
real
would say
question.
B. The concept though is
The
great.
concept's A.
The concept is
Yeah.
great, and it's again, is the sequels warranted? Really, I feel like the second and third one aren't bad.
They're not bad.
I
though.
like how they
Not bad.
expanded on it until the point where they couldn't expand anymore. And now they're just doing stupid.
I just don't
I
like.
think me and Whitney watched the first one. Maybe the first 2.
Yeah, I know I've seen the first 3 because I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure the third's with. Or
And
maybe
it
it was
hasn't
the
been
second.
that long ago. 'cause
After
I
the
made her
first
watch
3,
it.
I've seen other ones, but not
You
in
don't
order.
remember 'em? The Purge.
First one's great.
I like the second one better.
What was the premise of the second? Let me ask you that. I'm
It-
forgetful.
Isn't that the one where didn't the dude like pay to kill a family or like pay them to have them killed? It was
That
something
triggered a memory.
like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember. Yeah, I do like the second one. I'm pretty sure I enjoyed the third one. I think the third one's the Fourth of July thing. Kind of.
Yeah.
Cool. I like the theming, kind of.
All right.
Second one, a sergeant.
To try to
Like
kill the
during it.
guy,
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was.
and he ends up not killing him.
Yep. I like it. Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with A tier.
Next we
Maybe a
have.
hot take. I don't know if people.
I feel
I'm
like
cool
it
with A
might
tier.
be. Might be one. Next is Underworld.
I've heard about them. I
No.
know about them, but when I watched them, because I know I've seen them. My parents watched them. I know that, and I don't remember anything. Can't really give it a grade.
I
It's not
remember the
fair.
first like 2. I'm gonna go strong because I've watched a bunch of.
I support
Don't
anything
fully
being a
remember.
mid.
Mid.
Mid as hell.
This one is The Silence of the Lambs, an S tier
Love
for
it.
me.
Love it.
Absolutely.
Never even seen any of the sequels.
I've seen Lecter.
Mid.
Oh,
or
I can't
Hannibal
agree
or
with
whatever
that.
it's called. No,
Mid.
no, not mid.
I
at
can't
all.
agree with mid on that.
Y'all
One.
rank it wherever you want.
Just the
It's mid.
soundtrack alone puts it in S. Like Goodbye Horses.
I
Such a good
remember.
song.
Here's the thing. I'll say this about Silence. I know it's not necessarily a
Yeah, I don't
Don't
think it
watch-
belongs on this list
yeah, it
at
should
all.
be on the list probably. But here's the thing. The movie was so good. I didn't watch it probably. I know me and T living on we're in our house. So maximum probably 5 years. Maximum, pretty recent. I remember after I watched that movie, there was two. There was two movies we watched pretty close to. Maybe the next, and the other one is the other one's a hot take. Because it's not a great movie, but I liked it a lot. Butterfly Effect. Ashton Kutcher.
I've never seen it.
I liked it.
I remember the.
I do too.
You guys should check it out or rewatch it either way. Both of those movies I had to call my mom and tell her that I watched because I know she watched. I loved it. So I don't know if it would put an S tier because of horror and I've not seen the sequel. But I'd be
I don't see it as a horror movie, so I'm just ranking it as a movie in S.
Yeah.
But if we were to put it in context of a horror movie list,
that would probably be F.
I'd say I'd actually probably agree with you if it was in a horror context, put it right at mid.
But if we're doing it from a movie
Yeah,
standpoint,
from a movie standpoint, that's an amazing movie.
I'd say A.
That works with me. Next is Pet Cemetery.
Great movie. Great reboot. What's more than
I'm gonna say B though.
yeah, it's not not iconic. Not iconic.
I think it's iconic, but
Probably my second favorite Ice Nine Kills song based on
oh, don't even get me started.
it.
I'm cool with B. I like it a lot. I did another older movie that I watched recently, and I enjoyed it. Took my time with it.
Next one, we had some stuff to say about.
Yes,
Dun, dun,
Yes.
dun.
for real, it really is.
So, are we talking series? Or are we talking books?
Either or.
Yeah, both.
I'm not gonna take away from it, but I will say, man, sometimes that writing's a little bit cringe.
Oh, very. But so did you ever watch Are You Afraid of the Dark or something like that? Is it Are You Afraid of the Dark?
For the dark, is that
Which one's better in your opinion?
Goosebumps, but I know you're gonna say,
Great.
"Are you afraid of the
Yeah, I
dark?"
disagree.
I mean, it's more scary, but Goosebumps is just so
Yeah.
like. I mean,
Are you afraid of the dark?
is
What's
the-
that about? What's
Isn't that
The
like show on
Midnight Club,
Nickelodeon?
they go out into like the woods, fire, and then they scary story.
I've never seen that. That sounds like a cool
It was
concept.
about
though.
the same era as Goosebumps, but it was more, yeah, it was more like teenage
Oh.
oriented compared to Goosebumps.
I like
smaller.
Goosebumps.
I
I
like
like
the
books.
Fear Street books too.
Yeah,
but-
those are really good too. I like
I'll
all of
check
R.L.
those
Stein's
out.
books, honestly.
Yeah, I was about to say. I remember that getting.
I guess you have to
reception.
put the Goosebumps movie in with it too, because
Was-
it is the
Is that
franchise in
Jack
general.
Black? That was
Yeah.
in
It
that?
was
Yeah.
like a B. It wasn't that bad.
What's the concept? I've never
Don't
heard
Don't they
anybody
all
talk
get
about
all
it.
the monsters get loose in a town or something? I could be completely wrong, but it was so
Wow.
forgettable that I don't remember.
That sounds like a forgettable movie.
It still is though, just because of the books.
Yeah,
and
the books and the TV show.
Yeah, okay. I'll agree. I like a lot of the books.
This one I can't remember if you guys said you watched or not, but Creep 2.
I've not seen it.
Say they should go in S and tell you guys to watch them, and
Inflation
anyone
over there.
else to watch them. They're really strange.
He showed me the fantasy score.
What's the score?
He's destroying me.
Don't
No
check
chance
me
it'll
and
come back.
Bob, please. I don't want to look at it because he was up like.
It's up 102.
About the same, yeah. We took L's this time, buddy.
Gators
big
getting
time.
beat by almost 300 now.
Wow. Poor AJ. So yeah, I've never seen those series, but I remember you had a lot to say about it.
Yeah, they're pretty strange, really interesting. Definitely recommend watching them.
Check it out.
So like the concept, this guy hires a videographer to shoot a video for him, and some wild shit ensues from there. If I go any further, it would ruin.
I'll check it out.
They're both on Netflix.
Cool. Got some movies to watch.
We have Poltergeist.
I've not seen it either.
The TV screen scene is like one of the most iconic horror scenes of all.
But it's mid. The
It's
movie.
very mid,
All right.
overly boring. Even.
It's mid.
I don't know if that's like a controversial opinion, but I thought it was boring.
It's mid.
It could be
Mid as-
because I have
mid as
ADHD.
hell. Mid as hell. Mid as hell.
I've never watched
Super mid. Gremlins.
I agree.
I like Gremlins too, but
Gonna be
I'm going B.
B. That
Yeah.
works with me.
much to say about it. It's a great part of my childhood. I actually have the doll.
Is it Gizmo?
Yeah.
Of course it is.
I can't remember what you guys responded to this last night. I know you haven't watched it because me and somebody talked to you about it, but Sleepaway Camp,
Yeah, I've not seen it, but you talked
definitely check it out. One of the best twists in horror.
about
I like turns.
you like Wrong Turns.
No, I got Google Maps.
I think I Google Maps. Leprechaun.
I feel like you're calling me out.
I did look at you pretty heavy.
We all looked at him at the same time.
F.
F.
I've never seen it.
F.
Don't talk so lowly on yourself now.
F.
You know I love you. You're an A tier.
F. I'm an A tier. I'm not even.
Have you
S
watched?
tier.
Have you
To
watched?
hell with you.
Have you watched it?
No, I don't want to.
You need to check that little shit out. It's great. Stupidly great though.
Go to the next damn movie.
I was joking by the way. You are S tier. We have The Shining next.
We're going S on that one.
Yes.
Yes.
Iconic.
Yeah.
They didn't really do any sequels or anything, right?
No,
Or
they
did
didn't need. They, don't
They did
That's what
Dr.
I'm
Sleep.
saying.
What?
Dr. Sleep. It came out a few years back. It follows Danny once he gets older.
Well, here's the thing, though. Praise to them for leaving it alone, letting it do its own
'Cause it was
thing.
insane.
I like that. We talked about so many movies that just suffer from bad sequel after bad sequel.
Stephen King hated it.
Really
Yeah, he was not a fan of Stanley Kubrick's
interesting.
Sinister.
A tier.
A tier.
Yeah, it's great movies.
That lawnmowers scene
So,
though.
can you talk about it a little bit? Jog my memory, because I know I love the movies.
Boy.
The plot line. In general.
Sinister.
Yeah.
They buy that house and they find all the old tapes and it's like how they killed people and shit. And all the one that sticks out to me more than anything is the damn lawnmower one.
Yeah, I remember it being
remember
great.
that
I remember it being great, but I couldn't remember the name.
That stuck with me. And I was like 18. I had a hard time sleeping.
Wasn't there a scene with the kid too, and he kind of like gets in a box or something? Does that make sense? Or I think it's something else.
I don't remember.
Probably thinking of something else. I just remember it being a great movie though. I do.
So, scary movie.
Okay. I've probably watched that series. I probably spent more hours watching those movies than any other movie in the world. I gotta be honest. When I was a kid, I found them so funny. And I think it was just because
And then you grew up.
I grew up exactly. I was scrolling through channel surfing, and I think the first one or second one was on, and I cringed at every joke that happened. None of the jokes hit at all. But all right, here's the thing:
D tier.
D or
Yeah.
F, either one. Yeah, D or F, either one. I can see an argument.
I'd about give it a D tier.
There's a
just
huge-
because Shaq and Dr. Phil scene.
That
in the
was
fourth
great.
one.
I was thinking mid just because of that scene.
That was a
Hell.
great scene, and then also you had the Thanksgiving scene.
The strong
But-
man.
A lot of their jokes are just outdated.
Like we have Predator.
I have to sit that one out. I
feel
love
like I
Arnold.
look like a dinosaur when I stretch.
You do pterodactyl.
I was talking about like I ain't got no
Oh,
T-Rex. I guess
T-Rex,
I ain't
yeah,
got no
yeah.
arms.
No.
what do you have to say about Predator?
Mm.
I can't really comment.
Oh my god.
What is it?
Man, it's just I'm only up by 24. If Davis was to crap it out here, this is
How much time's left?
we're playing in the same game.
Oh, we are.
Third quarter, 3:30 left.
I'm not.
You don't know that. Well, Davis just seems to be. I don't know, man. All right. Anyway, sorry. I'm highly invested in this.
No worries.
Predator. What do you think about it?
B.
I've never seen it. I can't comment on that.
That works with me.
I like Arnold Schwarzenegger though. I'll watch it eventually. I'm sure.
That was the coolest part of that haunted house we went to.
It was. That dude was huge. So we have The Hills Have Eyes.
I liked the first one. I enjoyed it.
I don't think I've seen them.
Never seen those?
No. I don't
Have
think
you seen the first?
I've seen the first one.
I think
And
I've seen the
wasn't there a
second one, too.
remake too?
It might have been a remake. I remember there being a sequel to it. The sequel was weak, but the first one was enjoyable to a degree. It's mid.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
with
mid.
Isn't there an adult adaptation? Well, I guess it's an adult movie, but like
Yeah.
The Hills Have Thighs. Isn't there a adult movie?
that. Oh.
Wasn't expecting that one.
Not seen that one either. Just saying.
I'm not saying either.
It sounded
I
like
mean,
you might
know.
have seen that.
I think you might be a fan.
Yeah.
Don't
that's
worry
what
about it.
He might have thought we were talking about that
Thick
instead.
thighs save lives.
No argument detected.
And with that, we are done with the tier list, guys.
We finished it. You know, there was one other movie on there we didn't talk about. And it was... What is it? What happened? What I missed? Was it me?
It was me. I guess my comment got Whitney tickled.
Oh.
I stand by what I said.
I stand by it.
So, we didn't talk about that awful Thanksgiving movie.
Oh, Thanksgiving?
No. Actually, I was thinking of the Christmas one. The Gingerbread Man.
Oh, yeah.
That movie was awful. I want to just destroy that movie for a second. Who sit there and imagine that being a cool...
Well, can we talk about the one I mentioned last night? It's like, well, you pull it up.
Which one is it?
It's about a male body part. I think it's like
God.
one-eyed something. It really is a movie. I'm not being funny.
You're making him look something very dangerous.
Just type in movie about a killer, you know.
A killer, you know.
You know.
D-word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What else would I be talking
Well,
about that I wouldn't say?
It could have been, female genitalia also.
I said male.
Did you? I didn't hear that.
I got no horses in
Buddy,
this
are you
race.
talking about... Okay, so there's a couple things that came up. The death of Dick Long and Dick Johnson is dead.
Hold on.
Neither of those.
Maybe I need to type in, not Dick. And
The P word.
Yeah, the full-on scientific
scientific
terminology. It's still
Same
pulled
stuff.
up the death of Dick Long.
He's gonna try to find.
Oh, this is just about some dude named Dick dying.
Okay.
Rest in peace, Dick.
Richie.
Richie.
I know it's a movie. I've seen it.
I don't know if it's a movie or not.
It is. I
I'm
swear
questioning
it is.
the credibility
I
here.
swear it is.
He's gonna spend on a
I mean, I know
Looking
about a
for it.
killer tire. Seen that one.
rubber. The movie was awful.
Wait. Okay, I found it. It's called Pervert with an exclamation. Apparently, the penis can now detach itself from the body and kill people. I feel like that might be what you're talking about.
Why are we talking about
The
this?
dude went to a witch doctor in New Orleans to help attract females, but was misled. It was a facade.
Facade. I always thought that word was pronounced.
Are you talking about
facade.
one-eyed monster?
Yeah, it's, like I said.
Why are there so many movies about killer wieners?
I have no comment. Nothing to say. I'm actually.
This took a turn.
This is actually the one part where I have nothing to say right now.
Well, I mean,
We have succeeded
you
in leaving
called
him
my
speechless.
bluff.
You did. It was you. You pressed.
And I told you, I seen
I
this
just
movie.
believed him on blind faith.
You did. Yeah, you're right.
And you know where I seen it?
Where?
Don't ask me why I was in these channels at this time of the night. I was on like Showtime at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and that movie was to come on, and it just like captivated me.
Captivated him. That was hard.
I just vividly remember a scene of a girl like getting some clothes out of like a dresser drawer, and homeboy was just on the top of the dresser and shot her right in the face with some acid and ate her face up. And I was like, "What? Was that what I think it was?"
So, I just want to throw out there, we've been recording for 2 hours and 20 minutes of this.
Dear Lord.
That tier list to get you.
It will every
Hey,
time.
Wow.
These are
I
great
thought we were-
content. Like, I used to just
I
do it
thought
with
we
my
were gonna
friends
keep
in
it-
Discord, and we'd end up doing this shit all night, just different things.
We took off like 100 movies.
Yeah, we took a lot. Like, look how many are now that I'm.
My God.
There's like, I think like 9 each row.
Wow.
Okay.
Wait.
There's a few on here. I
Jurassic
probably missed.
Park?
Yeah, they had Jurassic Park on here.
They have Sharknado.
Ghostbusters on here.
Yeah, the Ghostbusters. Why?
I guess just horror adjacent stuff.
I'd say you're right, but either way, I'm cool with what we got.
Works with me.
I'm not gonna lie, these seats are very uncomfortable.
Oh, listen, who's this friend request?
I say take a break.
Yeah, need a little
Take a
smoky
break. We'll come back and
Do
finish
our
with the hot takes.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, let's take a quick break. We're back.
So-
Took us a little break. I had to stand up out of these chairs for a second. What would you say about these chairs?
They're mid.
That's what I was hoping you would say. Both of you said it. We'll get better chairs eventually. I want to get some of those big like office luxury, kick back, feet up kind of chairs.
Got my gaming chair. I just don't have it over every
Yeah,
time.
same. I got a very nice.
Pick it up and pack it.
I mean, I can do that, but it weighs 60 pounds.
Oh
A
God!
60-pound chair?
It's heavy.
Can't you pick up 60 pounds?
Pick
Sure, you
you up.
could.
Let's do it.
Thoughts?
I'll get a 300-pound chair and pack it everywhere I go.
This man's a beast, though. If we're being fair, you know, you look at him, you look at me. Difference.
Not all
He's
men
the
are created.
genetic freak.
Not all men are created
No.
equal. Okay.
That's the big bad booty daddy
let's,
over
let's
there.
do some damn hot takes.
So. Can we count off one more time? What do you think?
Yeah, we'll just count off.
Yeah.
One more time.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no problem with editing it out. So 3, 2, 1, and we're back. So last week, or I guess earlier this week, I can't remember. We asked for some hot takes to kind of go over, and there was a few interesting ones that we're going to talk about. Spoiler alert: we're not going to eat pickles and peanut butter right now. For somebody that asked us to, maybe some other time, but
But I'm not harping on it. I would try it.
I will try it.
I'll try it to eventually, just not tonight. But we will try. We'll give a judgment now, and then we'll revisit it.
I think we
maybe
need
next
whole
week.
pickles first, because spears just
Okay.
the
Yeah.
texture for me would be weird.
Those deals.
All
And then
right.
dills, son.
Are we ready to go?
We're ready with these hot
Yeah.
takes.
All right. And I'll have these up on the screen, too. All right. This guy gave us 7, but I'll start with the first one. If coming from Drew Holbrook, if Larry Bird didn't throw his back out, he'd be looked at as the best forward to ever play. Dude's stats in a defense-heavy league, and then with an injured back, were crazy good. I don't know too much about the subject, but I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say this. Even from coming from somebody who doesn't know much about basketball, I know who he is, so he's kind of got to be looked at as one of the best already, doesn't he?
Yeah, I feel like it's not even a hot take to say he is maybe even number one.
I don't know if I can give him number one.
He was balling as a 3-point shooter, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did something with a 3-point contest. I don't
Yeah,
know
he
what it
walked
is.
in and said, "Which one of you guys are coming in second?"
He
Went
was
out and
great at
destroyed
trash
him.
talking.
Didn't even take off his warm-up suit.
There was also
That's crazy.
there was also interviews of people who played against him, and I think somebody was wearing him out. Halftime, they were talking trash, and he comes back and says, started calling a shot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come down here, dribble here, shoot here, make it.
Yeah.
He started doing it. So yeah, he's an iconic guy.
Here's my favorite story about him. I can't remember who he was playing, but he came out and only played with his left hand because he said he was saving his
Yeah.
right for the Lakers. Or wasn't he left-handed? So it's the other way around.
Yeah, I think so. Either way, he
They're
definitely
saving
is
that one.
one of the greatest already. But the only argument that I have against that, if we're using the term greatest of all time, is probably LeBron James. A lot of hate on LeBron. Some of it's warranted. I like him because he's on the Late Show now. Love the Lakers.
Still hate him, Lakers fan, but hate him.
I like anybody that's gonna come play the Lakers.
He's the one person I couldn't get back.
I feel you.
Mainly because of the argument people used to say, if he came to your team, you'd still love him. No, I wouldn't. I hate him. Take him back. Get rid of him. He's ruined our franchise.
I think he does do a little bit too much with trades and front office stuff, but we're looking at it from a player standpoint. He's a triple double monster. He's athletic, dunk the ball. He can shoot. He added that to his arsenal. He never was known for his 3-point shooting. He can sink threes. He's got an all package kind of guy. People often argue if he's better than Michael Jordan. That's a different conversation completely. I don't even want to touch it right now. That'll
Yeah.
come up eventually.
I don't
Sure.
think he's a better basketball player, but I do think he may be the greatest athlete of all time, other
Definitely.
than maybe Bo Jackson in sport.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, he's one of the most athletic people to ever live.
As far as take, that's my only issue with it. I do know I didn't even really know that he threw his back out. I looked into it a little bit, and obviously that's going to diminish your career. So who's to say what would have happened? But the problem is we don't really know without. Will LeBron still average more than he does? Give us some statistics, probably. How many championships did Larry live? I don't have that pulled up. No, he definitely him and the Lakers went back and forth, kind of dominated the '90s. Well, no, it wasn't the '90s because Michael Jordan dominated. But all that being said, definitely an iconic player, and he has to be top.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Him and Durant's a forward. I feel like he's top 3.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
that
I like
dude,
Durant too.
best pure scorer to ever live. There's nothing you can do with him.
Insane, absolutely
Nothing you can
insane.
do with him.
Okay. Drew's next one is turn-based RPGs are vastly superior.
Now we talked a lot about this
Yeah.
in the last one. And I have to say that might be a hot take, but I actually love turn-based RPGs.
I do too, but I don't agree with that just for like, well, I don't know. My question really is he saying they're vastly superior to all games, or
think so.
or are they vastly superior to just normal RPG games?
Now that I didn't think about. Maybe he is just saying RPG.
Because saying that's insane. Because Skyrim and stuff. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I like turn-based RPGs, and I played a
But
fair
better
hand
than
of them.
any other style of video game.
I've probably put more hours into
Oh my god,
those styles of
there's
games.
No way.
I think I have.
There's no way. I mean, they're really good though. They're really, really good, but vastly superior. That's saying like
Way above, yeah, I get what you're saying, but I have to kind of agree with him to a degree,
That's
just
insane.
because I've spent more hours playing turn-based RPGs. I look at Pokemon and Persona. I've probably put those throughout my life, probably at least 200 plus hours in those series alone. Probably way more than that.
Yeah, because I
really.
was about to say some Pokemon games I put 100 hours in a lot.
Persona 5, I think I spent 200 hours roughly on that by itself. So you get more of a, usually with turn-based RPGs, the gameplay isn't really like top experience. More so, it's the storyline that accompanies it. And you got to think another one that we're not even talking about right now. We mentioned Persona and Pokemon, great series, but you also got to look at Earthbound, the great turn-based RPGs. They had some really good turn-based RPGs on the SNES. You had Paper Mario. You had Super Mario RPG. That was turn-based, right? So I guess that's kind of my whole thing there, is that I do think that probably is my favorite style of game. of all
Paper
time.
Mario and Thousand Year Door is probably the best turn-based RPG of all time.
It's a great one, and I've not even played it.
You've not played
I've
it?
never played it.
Okay.
I don't think I've played it either, but I have it on my emulator.
Moving on. Drew also said the only reason to eat a McDonald's was because it was cheap. Now there's virtually no reason to not get a 4 for $4 instead.
Well, here's the thing. When I think 4 for $4, I think Junior Bacon.
I do too.
It's not 4 for $4 anymore. It's $5.
The
you
$5
back.
is still cheaper than.
It's still cheaper, but I still think I think McDonald's holds its own when it comes to fast food. The value I feel like is decent. May not be as cutting edge as it was years ago. Taco Bell, I feel like Taco Bell probably
It's
is
the best bang for your buck.
it's the best bang
I
for your
think.
buck. You go to Taco Bell $20, you're eating for like a week.
That's true.
You get a lot of stuff from Taco Bell. Very good budget place. I'd say that's probably the best cheap option. But McDonald's, since this is a fat guy, I love food. I do have an itch for a Big Mac occasionally.
Do you?
I like the chicken nuggets. I like. There's certain.
Wendy's chicken nuggets are so much better than
I
McDonald's.
think they are too. I do, but
That might be a hot take in its own, but
I've said that before. But my thing about Wendy's is if I eat their chicken nuggets, I only want 4 in the.
I want spicy. Their
Spicy
spicy
nuggets are
chicken
good.
nuggets are next level.
I agree with that.
And they're kind of hot.
Yeah, they
They got
are.
some spice to
They got
them.
some heat to them. Yeah, I think all the spicy stuff fast food does. It's probably not as hot as what we've
The
ate.
spicy McChicken that McDonald's, or that spicy chicken sandwich, I guess it was insanely hot.
I liked it though. It was good.
Okay. He also said Chick-fil-A has the best fries in the game.
No.
And I'm going to say something right now. Chick-fil-A as a whole is mid as
Mid.
hell. Mid. I'd
Super
rather get
mid.
chicken from Dairy Queen.
And
Y'all,
I'd rather get the chicken sandwiches they have at Walmart's Deli.
honest. Oh God,
Those are so
that's
good.
S-tier chicken
Those are so
sandwiches.
good.
I've never had one.
They're
Before.
Get one if
S-tier.
they sell out
S-tier.
so
They're not
quick.
Whitney, those are S-tier chicken sandwiches.
It's hard to get them though. They sell out so quick because they're so
I've,
good.
I've never seen them before. I didn't even know they
It's
existed.
like Supreme stuff. As soon as they go out, they're gone.
We're talking about fries though. Let's talk about the fries. That's what the comments said too. Fries.
They're mid.
I like their waffle fries, but
They're mid.
it's not. We talked earlier about fast food fries. I love Wendy's fries.
I like Wendy's fries.
Five Guys fries are good.
I just don't like the organization as a whole.
I feel that.
I like
Makes
Steak
sense.
and Shakes fries a little time.
They're good.
I get your point.
They load you.
They
You get
do.
a large fry.
They
get
give you a
loaded
lot.
Down,
They give you a
son,
lot.
for
They
real.
do, yeah, and they're pretty good. The shoestring style works for them. It does.
I miss when they had the Parmesan ones though. Those were
I've
really
never
good.
tried those.
They took them away, but they were so good.
Another one he's got that just I don't agree with. Circle T over Francis.
Yeah, I don't agree.
Ah,
I like the
Ooh.
cheese sticks at Circle T.
two local diners, two giants battling it out. Always have been. Can't talk about one without talking about the. I love Francis's. They moved their store recently, and we ate there after they moved. It was a great meal. I really enjoyed it. I always liked it. My favorite thing at Francis's was our breakfast, banging a breakfast guy, and you could go in there and order breakfast anytime you want. I got the Huddle House vibe.
Yeah.
But with me, Circle T, man, those burgers are amazing.
They are.
great. They're a great cheeseburger.
They have really good curly fries there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough. I like them both, but to me, they're almost different restaurants completely. I mean, obviously, but
I know what you're.
Yeah,
trying
I
to
see what you're
say, though.
saying.
but
Like,
it's hard to
style.
It's the
compare
same
them.
style of food, but it's
Yeah.
completely different. I
It
see what you're
is.
saying.
I like them both a lot, but if I had to pick one, and just because for the sake of argument, I probably would. If I'm going out to eat, or any given day, I'm more likely to go.
Same.
That's how I am.
Disagree, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got another one. This one 50-50 about.
Okay.
Lyrics are more important than beats.
Ugh.
I disagree.
It's 50-50 for me, but I'm leaning more toward the beat because you can give me a crazy good
That's the
flow,
thing,
but
yeah.
if it's over a trash beat,
It'll
you
be
just
terrible.
it's
Well,
gonna be
here's
terrible.
the thing. I can see the argument for that, and my perfect example to give you is basically anything by people like
6ix9ine and stuff. The
6ix9ine.
beat goes hard, but the lyrics are
Yeah.
stupid.
yeah. I can't listen.
but you're
to
basing it off one select
Yeah.
group of people.
It. I kind of am. So yeah, that's the thing, I guess, and that's probably what he had in mind when he made that comment too. But Lil Pump was actually the one that I had in mind perfectly. I really can't. His beats do go pretty good. I enjoy the beats of the music, but when you're listening to the same exact words repeated over and over and over again, it doesn't do much.
That's why I like somebody like Suicide Boys so much
Yeah.
because it's literally the total package. Not only do you have an insane beat that would make you beat up 90-year-old women in a
Yeah.
mosh pit, but you've got lyrics that actually mean something. But
Yeah.
then the script can flip so easily, and it's such
Can.
peaceful and calm music.
Yeah.
Well, it's the
That's
same
what it's
concept.
like.
It's hard to debate that really because there is some songs that their sole point is the lyrics. Those songs do that.
And that's
focus on
across
lyrics.
every genre.
Yeah, any genre, metal, rap, country, even probably, where the lyrics just are the total
Yeah.
necessity of the song, and the music is merely an afterthought. But when it all comes together and clicks good, that's what I like.
A scenario that comes into my head is like yesterday when we were listening to those I Prevail songs. That breakdown didn't come. Took the whole song down 2 or 3
Yeah.
notches. And that's
and
all
honestly,
instruments there.
a thing I'll point to in this essence, and he can agree. A band that really defies against that and proves that to be dead wrong is Tool.
Yeah,
They
100%.
I mean, you can say what you want to, but they're a huge metal band, and out of
Yeah,
their
I know.
14-minute songs, 2 minutes of it's
Yeah.
lyrics.
I
Like,
get
And
he's
they
not
that.
packed
even
out
on stage.
stadiums.
I get that, and
Yeah.
I can't. I made a face, but here's the thing: I can't really comment on Tool's music because I've not experienced much of it.
Tool's an acquired taste,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
like it. I dig the hell out of it.
I
didn't
get
That was
that.
one of the
super into
best
them
live
until I went and
visual.
saw 'em live.
It's not even really the music. It was one of the best
Yeah.
visual experiences
Yeah.
I've seen live show wise. They were on point.
I can see that.
Okay, the last one he had, and this one's just complete stupid. And I didn't know this. Whitney just texted me. Drew was actually talking to us when we was in line at primary care for the trunk or treat.
Drew's a cool guy.
And yeah, he was cool. I had no idea that's who it was.
I like Drew a
Heck
lot.
yeah,
I met Drew.
Yeah, that's awesome. I had no idea.
What'd
I
you-
literally had no idea.
How I met him at JC Penney's when I worked there. Actually, really cool guy.
Whitney wants her Allen plates back, whatever that means. I'm an idiot. This one just pisses me off, though. man.
God, what
No,
is
this
it?
one pisses me off, and especially that you agree with it. Christmas music is acceptable.
Yeah,
all
that
year
one,
round.
That is no.
I wish we could have the full
It-
audio because
He also said, though, it'd be cool to add a viewer question segment, add some interactive stuff, maybe get you an off-screen question reader to kick you guys off on those type of things.
Yeah.
But don't interrupt the flow or chemistry. Y'all
That
are
would be a
doing
cool
good.
way to like end
Start the-
episodes.
End it or start it.
Either, actually.
Yeah.
Start it and get some topics flowing.
yeah,
So
That's
maybe that's
cool.
what we need going forward.
Yeah.
Just
I do
send
feel
us-
like once we just start flowing and get kind of off the
All right.
designated path of
We
what
do
we
that
had,
so
yeah,
often.
Those were
and
damn
that's
good
when it's the
questions, but
best.
the Christmas music one is
yeah,
just.
nah.
I feel like the man's got to be trolling.
like there's no way he
There's
thinks
no
that,
way
right?
you seriously believe. He just said that last night, and honest to
Thank
God,
you.
I hate the both of you.
listen, I'm
You're
gonna make
on
an
my
argument.
side.
Yeah, I want to say things I can't
We're-
say on a
It's
podcast.
definitely a hot take. It's definitely. Thank you.
Nah.
Here, I gotta talk about it. I have to. That song, it goes hard. The production's good. It's catchy. There's a reason that you hear
It
that song. We
makes me
think of
wanna
Christmas
slam
music. You
my
hear
head
it.
against the wall.
Listen.
Huh?
It just no.
Oh yeah, All I Want for
Oh,
Christmas Is
yeah.
You, Mariah Carey. Yeah, it's good. The production's good. When I think of Christmas time, I think of that song in particular. And I will say this too: My Chemical Romance did a great cover of that song.
That I'd probably listen to.
Yeah, it's a
You
good
got
song.
me there. I'd probably listen to
song.
that, but it's still.
You
Where
want-
is Christmas
Punk
music
goes
though?
Christmas.
Since we're on the segment, can I drop a hot ass take?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
My Chemical Romance, mid
Disagree.
D tier,
Please tell me you disagree.
I don't know all that much of them.
mid.
I
I'm a
just got
huge
into them
fan.
like this year. My sisters are huge fans, and they
B,
would kill me if
B.
I agreed with you. B, yeah, I can go with B from what I
Mid,
know.
probably.
That first album when they were screaming a little more, that's just fire.
Yeah, yeah.
Really good.
It's
Well-
the fan base that gets me.
Understandable.
I can understand that, but I enjoy that.
It's the
music
same
a
thing with
lot.
Suicide Boys nowadays.
Don't even get me started on Suicide Boys.
Those TikTok
It's this crazy to say. We were in the minority at that show.
Yeah, for real.
That's insane to
That was
think
bad.
about. It's really crazy to think about. We should be like the key demographic,
Yeah.
and we're not
No,
anymore.
not anymore. Used to be. I've been in all 3
TikTok's
years.
a hell of a thing.
Yeah.
Huh?
But you know, Punk Goes Christmas is a good album too.
It's okay.
Exactly. See, you're warming up to it. A
We
little
need
bit.
to review the pickles with peanut butter.
Yeah,
Tired of
Yeah.
fighting it's delicious.
I feel like we're gonna try it out eventually. We might even do that in the next episode. I just don't feel like I'm just not feeling it tonight. But I've said immediately that it would be disgusting. I don't know if I think it would be disgusting, but pickles and peanut butter combined, just thinking about it makes me cringe a little bit. I don't know why.
With more context, knowing that you're not going to be like getting the inside on the peanut butter, you have it like on the outside and bite into it. I feel like that wouldn't be as bad as I was originally thinking.
All right. We'll do it. We'll do it on the next one.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, okay.
Tune in.
That's a plan.
All right, Tyler Fugit has a couple here, and the first one it kills me too. What is so great about whipped cream?
Everything.
Can or a bowl? I just don't
Everything.
understand it.
All right, we
The
got off
bowl.
topic on that one last night too. It's better in a can.
No,
and whipped cream is
It's
better.
better in the bowl, but
It's in
like
the
I
bowl.
said, the can is useful. The can is a very universal product.
It
Like a
is.
The can is
multi-tool, he
great in
says.
the kitchen. It's great in the bedroom. You just got cool it, bro. It's
Yeah.
got multiple uses.
Well, not even that.
Brady
it's just,
whip, I guess.
It's just for me the
Brady
coffee.
Whip.
You know, you don't want to scoop out a big plump of whipped cream and dump it in coffee.
Well, you
I
get a
drink
bowl
black
of Cool
coffee.
Whip out of the
I like
fridge
coffee,
and dip
too.
some strawberries in it.
Strawberries and whipped cream is good.
Mm.
They also have some cool stuff in the bowl, like the cookies and cream flavor is pretty awesome. But actually, speaking of flavors, they did have some other flavor. They had a Reese's whipped cream and a Hershey.
I've tried that. The
Very
Reese's
good.
was good.
Very good. But I
So
love
whipped cream is the bomb.
Yeah.
But he doesn't understand the hype about it. And honestly, man, I hate that for you.
Maybe
It's
try to
pretty-
find
it's
out
pretty
the
damn
hype.
good.
Yeah, dude, I like it.
Investigate
Pretty
the
damn
hype,
I
maybe.
like it.
All right. His next one, and I completely agree with it. Fortnite had the best logic for a game to make money. They really did, and they still do. But has also killed it by trying to stay on top of the trends too often. I like that they stay on top of the trends. They could still do the trend stuff without changing the game so much. Like updating as much as they have. Gas essentially made a lot of the player base leave. They need to quit changing the mechanics and stuff, but them getting all these partnerships with all these different even John Cena has a freaking
Yeah.
Fortnite skin.
Yeah, everybody
The
does.
money in that is amazing, and they've got the best skins of any game that's
Yeah,
ever
definitely.
existed or probably ever will.
My thing about what he's saying that I do agree with is just that Fortnite's been out since, 2016, 17. It's been out for a long time. It's actually crazy to think about how long that game's been out. But the main thing to think about it is that, what was that about?
2 hours, 48 minutes.
I thought you was flashing some kind of sign, like some Naruto stuff.
No.
But
He looked at me when I looked over there, so I was just trying to tell him.
no worries, dude. But thing is, though, with Fortnite, here's the thing. There's been so many times where I've been hooked into rope. I'll play it daily, months at a time, but it doesn't keep me coming back. I've skipped so many seasons. There's a lot of those skins that I thought were really cool, part of the battle pass. I don't have because the hype wasn't there. You can't really maintain without changing stuff around a little bit. You can't maintain that player base. I know kids that play it, eat, sleep, dream.
And that's their key demographic.
That's
So.
their key demographic. It is, but for me, it's just hit or miss every time they change stuff. The gas has definitely went downhill. Nobody talks about it as much. Slowly dying off. They brought in the no-bills. We talked about that too.
That brought me back.
That brought a
Yeah.
lot of people back, and it did bring me back for a while. Not even updated on my computer right now. I don't play it. I don't log into Fortnite at all. Overwatch 2, I play more than that. I rarely play Overwatch 2 now. So
Overwatch 2, I'm having fun with it, but it's damn well mid.
think
I'm
about
just over shooters, bro.
well, think about
I
Overwatch
feel
2.
that.
So hard.
I get trash talk like I'm playing like the ranked games,
I know.
and it's bad. Like I wouldn't say it ruined the game because obviously, yeah, I suck. Thanks for killing me. But
They'll never be casual gaming again.
yeah,
It's gone
I just don't know why these people that are taking it so serious. Why are they not in rank?
because they get shit on.
Yeah, they're not good enough.
That's probably what it is.
That's what it is. You can't casually game anymore. If you're
Mm-hmm.
playing those style of games, it's gone and it'll never be back.
Anything with like a major esports tie-in now.
Fortnite
can't play
hit that too.
casually.
It did. You can't
Very
play it
good.
casually.
Yeah,
Like I
not with
said,
like builds in there.
even no builds. It's the skill based matchmaking. You'll crap on kids, but the second you get 2 or 3 good games under your belt, you might as well be playing Ninja. It's
Yeah.
game over. There's nothing.
I just
you
can't
can
keep
do.
up, and that's a big problem. with Fortnite and any of battle royale style games.
It sucks.
It's a bad
that's
idea.
that's a whole topic for a whole damn episode.
Give me like random
I
people.
know.
Give me a good
I
guy
know.
every now and then. Give me some trash.
It's another thing I hate about the newer Call of Duty games. Is
Yeah, it's so bad in those.
It's not even that way. It is that, but after every match, it disbands the whole lobby, and you find new games each time. I don't like that. I loved it when you was whooping
Yeah.
ass, and y'all went back and forth in like 6 straight games of Search and Destroy.
Yep.
That's what has happened to that.
That skill based on Cold War though, that was the worst I've ever seen it. Like you have one good game, you're fucked for 20 games.
I don't want Modern Warfare 2. I think I'm
I'm gonna
avoid.
get
I
it.
think I'm gonna avoid it until at least Black Friday and get it on a
I'm getting it
sale
for
on
Christmas.
Battle.net.
Yeah, for Christmas.
Good idea.
All right, and I think the other last hot
The
take was
last
just
one.
what is it?
I think it was something else about pickles, wasn't
It
it?
is Kami Kujo. I hope I'm saying that right. Kami Kujo. Pickles dipped in Parmesan.
That one I could see being really good.
I could too. I don't think that would be awful. I like pickles.
Corn dogs with peanut butter.
No,
No.
that no.
No,
Also, a fun tip: add a Twinkie to your milkshakes in the blender. That sounds.
That
that
sounds
sounds
good.
pretty good.
I could do that. I could do that.
Now, what was that second one? Because that was just a no.
Corn dogs and peanut
Yeah,
butter.
Corn dogs
no.
and peanut butter.
I can't agree with that.
I don't like a damn
I
corn dog anyway.
I don't like corn dogs either. That's
I
my
like
problem.
I'm okay with corn dogs. I guess.
What?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
I probably shouldn't say it.
You probably should.
I feel like I have an idea of where it was going now.
I kind of want to say it, but I feel like I shouldn't say it.
Go ahead and say it.
Can I say it?
Go ahead.
I mean, we can always you cut it out, bleep
No,
it.
there's no
Why
way.
you got the bleep? Hold down bleep and tell it to us.
I like my glizzy.
I wish you didn't tell me that. That's something I could have went my whole life without hearing.
You heard it.
We did hear it. All right.
Sorry.
I loved
think
it.
We've been filming long enough. I think that's.
Yeah,
Time to
that's a
end it.
great place to end it, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's end on that, boys.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to tune in next week. You guys have been killing it with the support lately. Any kind of feedback to help us grow, we appreciate it, good or bad. Appreciate anybody that made it this far that watched the whole episode because it
This
is a
will be
long one. But thank you guys so much. Any final thoughts, closing statements from you guys?
Like, it could be one of our best, though.
I'm having a blast.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
keep
going
going
great.
ass.
All right. Peace, everybody.